Game 2 of the NBA Finals is later tonight after 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Knicks took the opener on the road. They've won 12 straight playoff games. Their last loss was well over a month ago. San Antonio hosting New York tonight in the best of 7. The Finals opener drew nearly 17 million total viewers, the largest audience for a Finals telecast since 2019. Game 7 of the West Final had drawn nearly 16 million viewers, the most-watched conference Finals game in a decade. Former coach Paul Westhead won the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award from the Coaches Association. 3 WNBA games tonight. Stanley Cup Final Game 3 Saturday night. Broncos linebacker Jonathan Cooper and his girlfriend were each arrested for domestic violence. At the French Open, number 2 Alexander Zverev advanced to Sunday's final. Baseball today, San Francisco an 18-3 winner at the Cubs. I'm Steve DeSager.
Elijah, put the camera on me.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Password.
Ack, a dack, dack, a ack.
Enter, brother.
That's right. Come on in. With that password, you now have full access to this very fine radio program for the next 3 hours.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Thank you, LeBron. No matter how you listen in, Fox Sports Radio, foxsportsradio.com, the iHeartRadio app, and SiriusXM Channel 83.
Wow.
And now, live,
We'll do it live.
on YouTube.
Do it live.
That's right.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. Do it.
Say my name,
Rob Parker.
Say his name,
Keith McPherson.
That's right. And we are indeed the Odd Couple. And guess what? You'll need our phone number because we are, without question, the most listener-friendly national sports talk radio show on the planet. That's right. At least when people are still awake. Sorry about that, Ben. You know, you got to be awake. All right, write it down. Commit it to memory, 877-99 on Fox. For you laymen who can't figure out the letters and the numbers.
It's not trigonometry.
It's 877-996-6369. And guess what? If you hear feedback on the line when you do call and it's your own fault, it means only one thing.
You forgot to turn down the radio.
And if you call in here and have a problem with what we say to you, tough. Because
well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
With all that said, always remember...
The Odd Couple was filmed in front of a live audience.
Sweetie Beanie, yeah.
All right, let's go. Big show. Let me welcome in my co-host for the day, Mr. Keith McPherson from New York. What's up, Keith? How are you? It's Finals Game 2, Spurs, Knicks in San Antonio. What's up?
I feel like you needed me to bring some New York City energy, obviously with the Knicks versus the Spurs in Game 2, also with Aaron Judge. Not going to be playing for a little while, but the Red Sox are in town, and, you know, there's a bunch to go over in the wide world of sports. So thanks for having me back, Rob. Let's get into it.
Oh, no doubt about it. And too soon when you mention Aaron Judge. It is, it's
hurts. Too soon, bro.
Yeah, there you go. It also hurts MLB bro. You know, that's our guy right there, Aaron Judge. But anyway.
Because you need to know.
He'll be back. The only thing that they have going is they got that great starting pitching, which I think ultimately, Keith, will be the reason they get back to the World Series. But anyway, yes, we got a lot to get into. And remember, you can check us out on YouTube. You can watch us now. That's right, coast to coast. Keith in New York. Here I am in L.A. All you need to do is just search Odd Couple, FSR, on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, and after that, thumbs up icon. You could do that. You could comment away. Again, check us out. Keith, how warm is it there? You got the short sleeves on, everything nice in New York?
It's hot.
Okay.
It's hot. It was 85 degrees. It's summertime. It's summertime.
I just thought you were
it's 83
You're just
right
trying
now.
to show the guns because we're on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
If we got any ladies out there watching, yeah, I'll show them some.
Hey, you're married. Put a jacket on. Aren't you married?
I got the ring on.
Okay, all right. As long
My
as
wife know what time it is.
All right.
My wife been around me since college days. She already know.
I'm just saying. All right, yes, check it out. Check us out. Just search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe. All right, let's welcome in the Odd Couple crew because we wouldn't be able to do this fine radio program without him. Rob G is our producer. Bud Mexican that's right. Alex is our engineer.
Alex, you're a hidden talent.
One more time, Alex, on a Friday.
Alex, you're a hidden talent.
That's right. Steve DeSager's at the anchor desk. He'll keep us updated throughout the program. And of
Never
course,
heard of him.
Of course,
Never heard of him.
Elijah.
Who?
Yes, is our social media guru. All right, Rob G, let's set the stage, not the table, for Game 2 in San Antonio, where the Knicks have a 1-game-to-none lead. Obviously, a big game for the Spurs.
It's a huge game for the Spurs. Statistics already said that after losing Game 1, they're more than likely to lose this series. But if they lose Game 2, you can basically put a nail in the coffin. And as much as we want to talk about our guy, Victor Wembanyama, he was fine statistically. He didn't have his best shooting performance in Game 1. But
6 for 21 ain't going to happen.
That ain't going to happen. But the rest of the young Spurs, the team that we're so excited about, the one that Rob claimed early on this season, didn't quite show up. And we don't know if they're going to show up here in Game 2, but we are very confident. Everybody knows it's Wemby's going to show up.
Everyone knows it's Wemby. No doubt. And I do want to say this, Keith. The pressure is on, not the Spurs, but on Wemby. He's the guy who's been able to bounce back when having a stinker, when things haven't gone right, when they've lost. And I don't have any doubt that he's made of that. He has a passion for it. He's all about it. He wants to win. This is a young guy who's 22 years old who could just be like, hey, this is great. What an experience. We saw this when they made it into the finals, Keith. Do you remember the emotion that we saw from Wemby? People are like, do you like that? I like that. He's about that. He doesn't want to hear about the team's too young. He's too young. Only veteran teams win the NBA Finals. He is a prodigy. He is a unicorn. He's something that we haven't seen. And time after time, I've seen him answer the bell throughout this whole season and this stretch. I have very little doubt that you won't get a 6 for 21 performance. Am I saying he's going to go 41 and 24 like he did in Game 1 to shock OKC? No, I'm not calling for that. He understands what's at stake. You can't lose the first 2 games at home. Very few teams have been able to bounce back from that. It's just a recipe for disaster. You already gave up home court, and it could easily be rectified. You win Game 2, you go to Madison Square Garden, you win Game 3, you get home court back. It's just that simple. It ain't the end of the world. People overreact to one game. The same way after Wemby went off in Game 1, people were ready. Go back, Keith, and look at everybody. He's the greatest player. Look, he's wheelchair. He's dead. Blah, 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 blah. No, it's a process. It's lengthy career. You got to put in time and energy and all that other stuff. But tonight, you know, we talk about all the time. Tonight belongs to like some sort of great beer you like to have. Tonight, let it be Wemby. It's going to be about Wemby tonight, and he will respond. Big games. When he's trailing in the series, he's had big games for his team.
Yeah. Maybe I just been in New York too long. Last time I was on this show in New York, the New York Knicks went up 2-0 on the Sixers, and I was trying to tell y'all if they go up 2-0 and go to Philly, it's wraps, sweep, brooms. Now, here we are. The last time the Knicks lost a game was April 23rd. the night of the NFL draft. I went to the Giants watch party out there at Hudson Yards. Then we walked to Madison Square Garden for the watch party outside and watched them lose to the Heat. They haven't lost a game since. I don't think they lose tonight. Everybody knows it's Brunson. My thing is, if Jalen Brunson somehow Wolverine healed and that knee is fine, that ankle's fine, and he's ready to go and locked in, he leads the way. He's the captain. And when it comes down to crunch time, you know he's the clutch player of the year from last year. He's going to get it done. The thing about being young as well is you don't know what you don't know until you know. And I feel like they are young and naive and ignorant. I feel like the stuff that they said after the game, Wemby talking about like, yeah, I just got to play normal. We got to be better. I'm going to be better. You can be better and still lose. Wemby was not good in that first game, clanking the ball off the side of the
Well, wait a minute. Brunson scored 30 points on 31 shots. I'm not going to let you give a pass like he
and
put
got the
No. But I got the win covers everything. I get
Hit
that.
the dagger.
I get that. But he also took 12 for 31. Ain't no
He's
Picasso.
supposed to.
It ain't no Picasso. And
you want Landry Shaman taking all the shots?
All I want you to say is that there are going to be nights when you put up 31 shots, you might get 30. You ain't going to win every night. And you're not going to
shoot from the free throw line.
You're not going to bank everything. I guarantee you, Keith, in this game, one of those big guys, Cat, somebody, will have 2 fouls in the first quarter. I guarantee you that. I've covered the NBA since 1987. I know how this thing works.
I will be looking out for that. I will be looking out for how it's officiated.
You can roughhouse a guy like a Wemby in the beginning. They're not going to allow that to happen the entire series. They're not. They're not. And I'm not saying he's going to rely on free throws. He will get some space to be able to operate. And all I'm saying is it's easy to look at the Knicks and think they're going to win every game because they haven't lost. I get it. In 40 days, whatever you want to do it. I watched the first 2.5 quarters of that game. And the Spurs, to me, they weren't afraid. They didn't get run out of the gym. They were up by 14. Wemby comes out. The Knicks go on an 11-0 run, and they wind up losing that game.
Champagne's not shooting like that again. Julian
What do you
Champagne,
mean? He's from around the way. Half.
He's not shooting like that. They better leave Dylan Harper in the game. He's from Jersey, up there, not far from where I live. These young boys are not ready for the seniority of the Knicks. They smell blood in the water. They know if they win this game.
After one game, it ain't no.
Yo, the way they closed them out in that first game.
Can I give you a Phoenix Suns up 2-0 in the NBA Finals? Everybody wanted to crown Chris Paul. Do you remember the Suns series? Do you remember that? They were up 2-0.
I do remember.
They were up 2-0. What did everybody say?
Okay, that was the year that Giannis and the Bucks beat the Brooklyn Nets.
You're right, but I'm asking you in the finals when they were down 0-2. All I'm saying is don't.
What I was going to say is they also went down to the Nets. I was at those games. They also went down to the Nets, so I knew, they're not out of it. I'm not saying that the series is over.
Yes, you are.
I'm not saying that
you're bringing New York.
I think the Knicks can win tonight.
If they're going to win tonight, the series is over. So why are you saying it?
I'm not saying that.
Yes, you are.
What I'm saying is Wemby at 22 years old,
say it with your
he
chest
hasn't
out.
proven anything to me. I don't care about his Nike deal. I don't care about how much they want to push him into the forefront as the greatest player. He didn't look like the greatest player in the world to me.
He ain't the greatest player in the world, but he's done a lot.
I was laughing at him.
He's done a lot this year. Give him some respect.
Rob.
Put some respect to his name.
He needs some milk. He got to grow up. He got to grow into his bones, Rob.
He's
not ready.
His first trip to the playoffs.
Everybody knows it's Brunson.
And his team is in the finals. His first year in the postseason. Are you kidding me?
What?
Are you Meshuggah? Are you crazy?
OKC was banged up. Y'all didn't get me during that Western Conference Finals. OKC was banged up.
Stop it.
You need to get four legendary performances out of Wemby in the finals for the Spurs to win. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's not like that yet. And I can't wait. I got this TV on. I'm going to turn it on.
877-996-6369. Everyone knows it's Wemby. That's right. Who are you taking tonight in Game 2? The Spurs and the Knicks. And Keith McPherson from New York already saying the series is over. Count the Spurs out. That's where he is. New York bias. I'm not buying it. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm going to give you an unfiltered, real journalistic take on this series. I've been covering the league before Keith was even born.
Facts.
877-99 on Fox. And you know what you need to do? Stick and stay.
Unless by some reason you're buying into the Brunson in the US of A.
There you go. Hey, pro basketball fans are in full swing. And guess what? You can trade the entire the series on Kalshi. That's right. Kalshi, you can trade each game, props, combos, and more until the confetti falls. No doubt. You guys, I've been riding the big fella. You know, everybody knows it's WEMBY in San Antonio all season long. I wrote a song about him a few months ago. We just released a music video this week, and that's doing big numbers right now on social. So I'm doing it again. San Antonio is currently trading 47% to win these finals, which means a $100 trade pays out $213 if they can come back and win this series and win it all. That's right. I think that's a smart play. I'm all about it. That's the one I'll be making on Kalshi. You're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, right, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use the code ODD to get $10 when you trade 10. Again, use the code ODD and get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Restrictions and eligibility apply. Not available in all states and must be 18 plus. Trading involves significant risk. Consider if it's appropriate for your financial circumstances. Prices and value may differ and some markets may not be active. See Kalshi.com/regulatory for more.
So last night, game one, and, we watched the first half together.
Yep.
And, the Spurs got off to a good start, got up by 14, 7 at the half, 14 in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. Wemby sat down. Knicks go on an 11-0 run. Before you know it, you got a ball game, and the Knicks come out on top. Kelvin, what was your takeaway on the Knickerbockers?
Yeah, Rob, I watched the game. Like you said, we watched about the first half together, and then obviously I watched the second half solo,
right.
and I was really dissected. Okay, a couple of things, and we'll get more to the other hour. My view on the Spurs.
Right. Let's do it separate.
Yep. But that makes me like, okay, what am I seeing here from them? Okay, check. Then I started looking at the Knicks end of it. I'm like, okay, what am I seeing? And a couple of things came to mind, Rob. Number one, the Knicks. That game was eerily similar to what we saw with the game one of the Cavs, in that the Knicks not quite on point. They're playing well, but they seem to be a little rusty. And then it's like something clicks and they get it going, and they're able to find like the groove and take off from there. And so I'm watching the game and I'm figuring out different strategies. I'm looking at different lineups, and all of a sudden I start to think, man, the Knicks may have the formula for Wemby. Now, Wemby is a great player. He's going to have some games, but they throw something out at him differently than what the Thunder could throw out at him. And what the Thunder couldn't throw out of him, and you thought you could if you're the Thunder, saying, hey, we got a third team All-NBA guy, a first team All-Defensive guy, and Chet Holmgren. I call him Set because he ain't got no H in his name because he ain't had no heart in Game 7. So the difference is the way they can come out with Karl-Anthony Towns and actually make Wemby guard an individual. Not guard as he gets to be a free safety, kind of walk around, run around, block a shot, be a second-man defender, a help defender. He has to guard Karl-Anthony Towns, and Karl-Anthony Towns was blowing by him off the dribble. Karl-Anthony Towns was able to get him in a little bit of foul trouble, get a couple of fouls on him. Karl-Anthony Towns stretches the floor when the Knicks need to, because he can stay all the way deep for three, and he ain't set. That's right, Set, not Chet. He'll shoot the three, and Wemby had to respect that, and we all know Karl-Anthony Towns has a quick release. So he all of a sudden, I'm looking at this like, man, this is a huge matchup advantage. Not that he's better than Wemby, but what he provides for the Knicks versus what Set couldn't provide for the Thunder. So that's the thing I'm looking at. You watch also how he's defending Wemby. Wemby was 2 for 12 when Karl Anthony Towns was guarding him. Do I expect that every game? No, but I have the luxury, if I'm the Knicks, of putting him on him when really their original goal was to put OG on him, who has the best plus minus of anybody in the entire league of guarding Wemby throughout the season. So that actually is the game plan for the Knicks, but they had the advantage with Cat, and they rolled with it, and it worked to the tune of obviously a 10-point victory. So I watched that. I was like, they have a formula to make this a difficult series, both offensively and defensively for Wemby. He's going to have a game or two. He's Wemby if it goes 5, 6, 7. But the idea that, this is not the Thunder and that he has to guard him. He's not Hartenstein. I don't really have to guard him. Chet is self-check all of a sudden. He forgot how to play basketball. So that's the one main takeaway. And then lastly, of course, Jalen Brunson is the absolute closer. He is the absolute just shark, smells blood. He's coming to take a team out, in this case, the Spurs. He didn't shoot great in the first half, but what I love about him is the relentlessness. A lot of guys need to learn this. It ain't going. I'm getting the shots I like, but they're not falling. I'm going to get this thing going in the second half, and he did, to the tune of course, 20-something points in the second half, more specifically 13 in the fourth. He was cooking, just like he did against the Cavs in that game one when they got rolling. We know he's their closer, and I love that they have an identity. Josh Hart can say, man, like he said, it's like I'm a servant to this team. I take it like my faith. I'm a servant to my faith. I'm a servant to this team is what he said. He can do whatever they need. Bridges can do whatever they need. OG can do whatever they need. And then Karl Anthony Towns providing buckets and defense and Brunson closing it out. They have the formula to be able to beat this Spurs team. It's going to be difficult. I said it'll take 7. Who knows? Could be a little sooner. But they have the formula to get it done, Rob. I seen it.
Yeah, I think Wemby has done a number against the Knicks in the past. That was one of those games, and I'll get to the Spurs side. Mm-hmm. As the Knicks, they got great. They were very fortunate in this from the standpoint of, you're right, as far as Brunson, 30 points on 31 shots. Like, not really.
Ain't the most efficient.
No, not efficient at all, but it doesn't matter if you can get it at the end.
All right, yes, but a big story coming out of Georgia. In the college baseball world. I don't know if you got...
It's a funky flashback Friday here on The Odd Couple. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson in for Kelvin Washington. Our telephone number, 877-99 on Fox, talking about Game 2, Knicks and the Spurs. And remember, at the University of Maryland Global Campus, you can choose from more than 65 graduate online degrees and certificates, including its MBA with now 10 specializations, no application fee. What's today? Yeah. But you got to visit umgc.edu. All right. Keith, here we are. We're talking about Game 2. Keith is like, he expects the Knicks to win. He's basically counted out the Spurs after one game. I'm not there. I got Wemby bouncing back. Where are you? What do you think about tonight's game, Game 2 in San Antonio, 877-99 on Fox? And we do want to hear from you. How about Louie in Texas? You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Louie?
What's going on, guys?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Go ahead. What you got, buddy?
So I'm gonna tell you that I live here in Texas, and Wemby is going to live in the paint for the rest of the series. He's going to bust out a big old box of elbow macaroni.
Hey.
All right.
All right.
I got you. Wemby is going to play better. If the Knicks are counting on him to be 6 for 21 every game and think that's going to be the way the series runs, I just don't see it. I really don't. I don't think they've watched this guy. I'm talking about people who are counting him out. They were down. People told me that they couldn't win game 6 or 7 against OKC. That's what they did. Won game 6 and won game 7 on the road against the defending champs. Do not count this team out. One game, Keith, does not make a series. 877-99 on Fox. What about Chris in Sacramento? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Chris?
Man, my boy Keith is tripping in New York. Tripping. He's all in that smoke, that New York smoke. This because they won game 1. It's over. It's over. New York this. New York that. Wemby is about to show out. He just got done playing a 7-game series.
Yes.
Why New York just been chilling. He just got done playing a 7-game series. It's okay. He can lose one. Take a breath.
Right, and you know what, Chris? They weren't going to sweep. The Spurs weren't going to sweep, so they were going to lose a game. I always say this, Keith. You never like how you lose. You can lose by 1 or you can lose by 30. You never like how you lose, and you're going to lose some games. You just have to be able to bounce back. That's how you win a championship.
Don't lose too many in the finals. That's it.
What do you mean? They can't lose one? You're saying that the Knicks...
Don't lose too many in the finals because before you look up...
Let me ask you this. If the Knicks had lost game 1, would you say the series was over because they had won 11 in a row coming in? Of course not.
I was telling people they were going to lose when Brunson went out. And then even when he came back, I was just like, yo, they haven't lost in so long. They're bound to lose. Then when they won that game, I'm like, come on. They little boyed them. They're too senior. That experience is going to play. Even with Mitch Johnson, right? He's a little boy as well. Experience plays with Mike Brown. What can Brown do for you? They have too many answers. We are about to see in a couple hours.
Brown's been around for it. No wonder he's been fired 5 times.
Stop that. Give that man his respect. Give that man his respect.
If they lose the next 4, you will not be saying, what can Brown do for you? Would you?
No,
I'm asking you.
No shot.
No, I'm
shot.
asking you. Forget about no shot. I'm telling you, when everybody was saying Devin Booker's the next Kobe Bryant when they were up 2-0.
Who was saying that?
Plenty of people in the NBA world.
Out there in L.A.,
Rob G,
which
am I
is
lying?
crazy.
NBA
they were
world.
saying that in New York.
NBA
He's
world.
the next Kobe?
Yes, after they were
you
up
ain't
2-0.
Kobe. We don't love you like that. Book is not no Kobe. Listen.
Hey, Don, in the UP, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Don?
Yo, what's up, Rob? Hey, welcome aboard, Keith. Love having you on there.
Thank you.
So, listen, Wemby, game 1, he played like Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along Came Polly. It was awful.
It was bad. It was a bad day at the office, no doubt about it.
And they just got done playing 7 games, right? They were at home. He played terrible. They're home again. It ain't home. It's Home Alone, man. And just like Home Alone, there's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And Wemby going to be playing, just like they say in the show, his performance with the French call, Les Décompentons.
All right.
He's about to be fried like French fries. It's also going to be home invasion because those Knicks fans did the calculations. They said, okay, flight, hotel, ticket, cheaper than Madison Square Garden by thousands. We out there in Texas. I'm telling you, you're about to see it again.
It's been so long in New York. I mean, people are what they're paying for tickets and stuff is just outrageous. I get
They've been saving up. They've been saving up the last 4 years.
Last 4 years, last 40 years, or 60, 50 years.
The team been good the last 4 years.
They've been saving up since the 70s.
73.
All right. Coming up, we're going to talk. I got a plan to keep the Yankees above water while Aaron Judge is out. I'm going to share that with you and Keith. That's coming up next. But first, let's get you caught up. Mr. Steve DeSager is at the anchor desk. He has an update.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals at San Antonio starts after 8:30 Eastern. Knicks took the opener. Knicks have won 12 straight in this postseason. The Finals opener drew nearly 17 million total viewers, the largest audience for a Finals telecast since 2019. Former coach Paul Westhead won the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award from the Coaches Association. Westhead had a 38-year coaching career at various levels. Broncos linebacker Jonathan Cooper and his girlfriend were each arrested for domestic violence. Bucs quarterback Baker Mayfield is unsigned after this year, and he considers the start of camp as his deadline for an extension, saying the sides are not close currently. The Bears board of directors voted to advance their stadium development across the border in Indiana, not naming an exact site. The UFL spring football playoffs are this weekend, including on Fox TV Sunday, Louisville at St. Louis. At the French Open, number 2 Alexander Zverev advanced to Sunday's final. He's never won a Grand Slam event. A reminder, this Saturday, it's U.S. soccer against Germany in an exhibition that sold out Chicago. Germans just defeated Finland over the weekend 4-0. U.S. defender Chris Richards out again with an ankle injury. U.S. men's soccer won its exhibition last Sunday 3-2 over Senegal in Charlotte. The Americans open their World Cup schedule in L.A. next Friday night against Paraguay on Fox TV. NASCAR Hall of Famer Ned Jarrett died at the age of 93. He was series champ in 1961 and 65. Baseball, Giants an 18-3 winner at the Cubs. Phillies have a 3-2 lead over the White Sox, bottom of the second. Mariners out to a 1-0 lead at Detroit against Framber Valdez and the Tigers. They're in the bottom of the third. Yankees 1-0 over Boston, bottom of the second. Yankees officially placed Aaron Judge on the IL. By the way, Tigers pitcher Tarek Skubal will make a rehab start in A-ball on Sunday. He had elbow surgery a month ago. Orioles at Blue Jays 1-1, bottom of the second. Back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you. It is The Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Keith McPherson, on a funky flashback Friday, Game 2 of the NBA Finals, fastly approaching. And guess what? For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation when they come to you. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. All right, Keith, we got the news. You're in New York. I know people bummed out Aaron Judge on the IL 4 to 6 weeks, probably closer to 6 weeks, right, with the fracture in his rib. Just what's the buzz there just about Judge being out? And a lot of people have high expectations for the Yankees.
At least, these Yankee fans have the Knicks. Because with Judge, we know now he's not going to win MVP. We know now he's not going to be in the All-Star game. We know now we're going to go into this June swoon, which a lot of fans call the Boone June swoon, because through Aaron Boone's tenure, the team dips off in June. Didn't we just say a couple weeks ago, look at the Yankees. Wow, the Yankees are back. And then it's the same old same. So we have experience with Judge going down. This year, we have better reinforcements than we've had in the past. But it's not fun. This is the best hitter in the game. This is the captain of the team. This is the face of baseball. And the thing about the Yankees that grinds my gears, they always try to hide it. They'll do little things like DH him and then give him a day off. And I was at the stadium Tuesday, and I got there early for an event, and then I get the alert that he's not in the lineup, and I'm like, I just know. I know what's happening.
You know
I
it's
know
bad,
he's hurt.
right?
I know. Yeah, I'm like, I know they're trying to cover it up.
Well, he played every game this year, so when he's out of the lineup, you always go, uh-oh, what's going on here? Something's happening. Now, here's my solution, and I've been saying this for a while. I think the Yankees need to make a big move, and I know you like the reserves and the team they put together and all that, but I'm sorry, you got to go get somebody else, a big-time player, a player who has that potential, who could fit in and play. There's a lot of, reserve players who are okay, but the guy I would go get is Fernando Tatis Jr. And I know people are going to be like, oh, that contract, he's 27 years old. And here's the thing. I think he needs a change of scenery from San Diego, and you might be able to get him because – Keith, he's only got one home run, you know what I mean? And he's on a down, having a kind of a down. He's batting .270, but he's only got one home run, finally get a home run this season. And maybe the Padres pay some of the money, you know what I mean, to move on from him, change the scenery, and insert him in the lineup. Because I'm not so sure they have enough. Stanton is hurt. You go get a younger guy to add to that lineup, and maybe the change of scenery to the Bronx could be something. He's an electric kind of player. Instead of sitting pat and hoping, as you talk about, you survive the June swoon and make a bold move instead of just kind of no-name reserve players who are all batting under 200. There's a ton of them on that lineup who aren't hitting anything. I don't know. You like the lineup 7, 8, 9?
No, of course not.
You don't like
and it changes. The catchers don't hit, and in the bottom of the order,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Ryan McMahon or Volpe or Jose Caballero.
They're
He's
not
been
hitting.
better. Yeah, and I'll say this, Rob. Fernando Tatis has been rumored for years. I remember fans joking about him coming here before he signed that contract, saying they're not going to unretire 23, unlike the New York Football Giants that unretire numbers. The Yankees would never unretire Don Mattingly's number.
No.
But this is a guy that would come here, play right field, and be electric, and, yes, turn it on. One home run for this guy, the way he swings, the way that he can adjust his swing, the way that he hits the ball out of the park, it'd be great. But I'm telling you this, the Yankees won't do it because they won't give up what it would take to get him. There's zero chance. They're not giving up their top prospects. They're not giving up their top.
You're trying to win a World Series. You haven't won since 2009. Enough
Correct.
with the prospects.
They were there 2 years ago.
I don't care about the prospects. They got a pitching staff, right? You got a starting rotation that's World Series worthy. You need hitting. You go out, go get a guy. The only reason he's available is he's downtrodden right now. It doesn't mean that you add him that he can't. He's 27 years old. He's got a long way to go. If you're the Yankees, you go and get him, and he has 5 good years or whatever it is, and you win a World Series or 2, it's worth it. You can't keep saying, I don't want to give up anybody. Oh, these guys down in the minor league. That's all good and well.
Where do you play him when Judge comes back? Because Judge isn't done for the season. He will be looked at in 4 to 6 weeks. We expect him back in August. Where do you play Fernando Tatis when Judge comes back? He started on the
infield. He started at third base. He's played second base. Can he play third? He's not going back to shortstop.
He plays short. He's not going back to short.
He's not going back to shortstop. But I'm just saying.
He probably can't play left field in Yankee Stadium.
Why can't he play third base? He could play third base. You wouldn't want that bat?
They tried to throw Jazz into third base 2 years ago, and that didn't work out great.
He was okay. Jazz is better. Leave Jazz at second base.
They believe
Why can't
in
he
who
play
they
third?
have.
I'm asking you. Ryan McMahon?
He could play third, but they won't do it. No, Ryan McMahon's not the answer. I was reading about them potentially going to get Isaac Paredes in a trade. But I'll say this. They believe in the young guys they have. Spencer Jones is back up with the team tonight.
What is he batting?
Well, he hasn't hit a home run yet. He's been terrible. But this is his second cup of coffee. We hope that now, second time around, the lights aren't too bright. Jason Dominguez just commenced his rehab stint. He'll be back. They hope that the Martian can be out of this world. They also do believe in guys like
last year, Jason. He had a disappointing year to me. I know we've heard
because he didn't get enough reps. He couldn't play because Trent Grisham was in the way. Nobody expected last year him to be what he is. They got the qualifying offer out to him. He took it. They expect him to show up. And you know who's got to show up through this stretch? Jazz Chisholm, who said he was going to have an Ohtani year, 50-50. Jazz Chisholm, who said he was going to get a 350.
He's hitting better, but I got
we need him to be a lot better. You're going into free agency, bro. This is the time. And Ben Rice already homered tonight. They believe in that young guy. He's been a star. He's going to be in the All-Star game. Last time I checked, it was still 1-0. And, yes, it still is. And Bellinger, they paid Bellinger more money than Judge this year to be here. Belly was just player of the month last year. He's got to continue. And the last but not least, Giancarlo Stanton, paging Giancarlo Stanton. It's time to come out and play again. Hello, Stanton, where are you? We need you.
No doubt. I think that's somebody who, if you can get him back. He was hitting before he got hurt. He hit, you know what I mean? He wasn't hitting home runs, but he's actually hitting and driving
for average.
in runs.
Doubles,
right.
yes.
That's what I'm right. He was
Singles.
definitely doing that, like driving in runs or whatever, which I thought was great because you know the home run ball is going to come for him, and you know what kind of postseasons he has, which is always big as well. So I'm just saying, like, to just stand pat when there's somebody out there that you could get and put to third, and if you really feel good about McMahon as, late innings. No, I'm talking about to play defensively. To come in these 8th or 9th inning defensively, I'd be all right with that as long as Tatis can get 3 at-bats. You know what I mean? Or 3 or 4 at-bats. Then I don't have a problem with it. That's all. I just think the Yankees have a team in the American League that could win. I do because of their rotation.
The American League is nothing this year.
It's wide open.
They should win the division. The Rays showed you that they're not as great as we thought. Another season that the Rays have gotten out of the gate fast, and that's kind of worn off. But
they've
listen,
come back to earth.
It's Brian Cashman. When has Brian Cashman made a move because of an injury? He's not going to have a knee-jerk reaction to this. He's going to let these guys play. He feels like he built out the team, and they even have guys like Ahmed Rosario and Caballero that can play in the outfield.
They're
Max
fine,
Schumann will go out there.
But they're fine, but they're not Fernando Tatis Jr. I'm sorry.
I would love to have him.
What juice would that be to New York? I'm just asking you, the fans.
I got the locks. I got the long hair coming out of the back of the hat. I mean, I would love to see Fernando Tatis bring his swag to New York, Dominicano, like the BX, the Dominican vibes and the BX. He'd be great here. But there's no way Cashman gives up his top prospects in June or July to make that happen when he knows Judge is coming back and he has some reinforcements coming back as well.
All right, I'm just throwing it out there. I just think Tatis
somebody should go get him.
Needs a change of scenery, don't you think? I really do. I just think.
Yeah, it's over there.
Yeah, it's over. I couldn't believe he didn't have a home run until last week or whatever. I mean, it's amazing. All right, things have gone from bad to worse in the NFL, and guess what? We'll get into that next. It is The Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Keith McPherson, where we deliver insight, not noise, right here on Fox Sports Radio, and you know what you need to do. Stick and stay.
Because everybody knows it's time for WEMBY in the US of A.
Everyone knows it's WEMBY.
I was gonna set you up, man. Look, the Spurs, obviously a tough 7-game series, but the Young Bucks triumph. They get into game 1 at home. They look good. We talked about it earlier. They get it going. They get up 14. They falter. This team breaks kind of the mold of young, too young. It's like they're dumb enough to think, hey, we don't know the rules. We're supposed to win. But they ended up not closing the game right. But you, my friend, you ain't worried.
No, not at all. And a couple things. I always look at, because there's a combination of stuff. First of all, they were able to build a lead. It wasn't like they got run out of their own building. If they got run out of their building and they were playing, you know what I mean, then you say, oh, my God, I don't know if they can do anything or match up here. The other thing I look at, 6 for 21 for WEMBY. That's not going to happen every night. You know what I mean? He's going to have some clunkers, and we know that. We've seen it, and they still win series when he plays well. And Mark Stein brought it up. He's very good at bouncing back from bad performances. He does. He really does. And they'll work on some stuff. And also De'Aaron Fox just didn't play well. Like there is room for improvement on this team. And again, normally you would say a young team, oh, they're demoralized. They've been down. They've been out. They lost game, what was it, 5 at home. Wasn't it at home? Yeah. And then they went to OKC, right? Or is it the other way around? No, they won game. I was thinking about the Cavs winning game 5 in Detroit and then 7.
No,
but they
won.
No, but it doesn't matter. They still were down and they had to win. And then they went. No, they were down. And they won the last 2 games, right?
Yes.
They won at home, game 6, and then they won game 7 on the road. And my point is, they're resilient. They wouldn't be in this spot. They haven't swept anybody. They haven't been running away and, you know what I mean, and hiding from people. They've had to grind out these wins, and sometimes it's okay. And you can look at it, no excuses. They lost the game. I'm not all into that. But they got off to a good start, right, with the adrenaline. They had a 7-game series, dramatic, all that. The Knicks were resting. They were home. They were fresher at the end, you know?
Yeah, they were.
They just were. And it doesn't mean that automatically meant they were going to win and come back or whatever, but I think that helped in that standpoint. Now that they've got their legs, the series has started, you know what I mean? They'll have the off day, and they'll have a chance to come back. Things that did not go right, they'll be able to look at and correct. And I just wonder, like, pushing through once the Knicks lose that one game, you know what I mean? Like, what could happen? Like that's if I'm the Spurs, you know what I mean? Like, you go, we built a 14-point lead. We were playing well. We talked about it when we watched the first half. We were impressed. Every time the Knicks made a little run, they finished out the half nice. They were up by 7.
Yeah, that was the key part.
WEMBY was only 2 for 9 in the first half, right? And they still were leading. I even brought that up to you. I said he hadn't even played well. I didn't know he was going to finish 4 for 16 or whatever it was after that, or you know what I mean? So it was bad, but when you can always take a look at it and go, if Wemby had a big game, because against the Knicks this year he averaged 28 and 13, right? That was the number. If he had that and played well, and they lost at home, then I'd say you have to feel like, what does he got to do? Score 40 and 41 and 24?
The only pushback I have, a couple other thoughts, but the weird part is he did have those numbers. It's just they were hollow numbers. Like he ended up with 26, 28, but it was a bad.
But they beat the Knicks in those games, I think, right?
But I'm talking about last night because he got all those free throws. Remember, he was like 12 for 13 from the free throw line. So, you look at it and you're like, okay, well, if you just looked at the box score.
6 for 21 is awful.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, but he did end up with numbers, but they were bad numbers or hollow numbers because he turned the ball over. He had only 2 assists, but he had 6 turnovers. He shot, as you mentioned, very inefficient. And to be honest, he just looked a little lost out there, which we don't often see from him. Karl Anthony Towns presented a new problem for him of, well, wait, do I go guard him up, from 30 feet from the basket? Because I like to roam. I like to play free safety and block shots and change shots, but he can't do that with Karl Anthony Towns. So I do expect adjustments there.
It is the Odd Couple on a funky Flashback Friday. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson in for Kelvin Washington. And Alex is digging deep in the crates there on this Friday. Of course, Game 2 of the NBA Finals will be coming up at about 8:30 Eastern Time. But now it's time for the Tire Rack Play of the Day.
And the pitch. Swinging a looper, shallow right center field. That's a base hit. Cubs win the ball game. Pete Crow Armstrong delivers. What a finish. The Cubs have scored 4 runs with a great 9th inning rally. This is one for the memory banks.
All right, that was Cubs Radio to Play Today, brought to you by Tire Rack. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Keith, now it's time for a little Shackle City.
Welcome to Shackle City, the home base for Rob Parker's daily picks against the spread.
All right, last night I was 2-1. That brings my season total to 155 and 127. Not bad, right? Here we go. And we're going tonight with the Dodgers and Angels, another freeway series. I got the Dodgers as the best bet, minus 1.5 runs against the Angels. I'm going to take the Washington Nationals on the road against Arizona. I'm going to take Washington plus 1.5 runs. And the Mets are in San Diego to take on the Padres. I'm going to take the Padres minus 1.5 runs. So again, here we go. Best bet, Dodgers minus 1.5, Nationals plus 1.5, and the Padres minus 1.5. And remember this, Keith, I'm not telling you who to bet on. I'm telling you who I bet.
Did I do that?
There you go. All right, Keith, you got a problem with the NFL. The bad offseason continues.
Yeah, it's just It's disappointing. It's disappointing. You go from the scandal with Stephon Diggs, and he goes to trial, and he actually comes out of there not guilty. And you say, okay, cool, right? They already threw the dirt on him, though. They already buried him, though. He's out of New England, and a lot of people didn't keep up with that. But then you get into this offseason, and I just feel like these guys have so much time away from football. They're bound to get in trouble with social media, with the money they have, with the amount of girls that they have around them, the fast cars that they drive. You know, we hear about Nolan Smith going 137 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. You know.
But wait a minute, Keith, there's 1,000 players in the NFL. Only a handful get in trouble. I think that's like base. It's kind of like the general population. Don't you think? You just know who they are. Yeah.
Nah, I think we don't know half of them that really
but I'm talking about
get caught up.
Well, but we don't know about most people in their daily lives and what they're doing.
Josh Jacobs now with domestic violence and Jonathan Cooper with domestic violence. Again, innocent until proven guilty, but it just comes up as a stain on the NFL where people say, especially right now, Robin, I wasn't on during this time and I don't want to get deep into it. But you know how many people started wagging their finger after everyone got upset about Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter, and then they said, well, look at Josh Jacobs. Now look at Jonathan Cooper. And I'm like, the two things are not the same, connected.
That's what people do when they're looking, they're reaching. They can't talk about the subject at hand, so they dig and they want to dig up anything bad about anybody to use that as the reason why. I agree with you, which is ridiculous. But this is the NFL. This is the NFL. These things continue to happen. I don't know how you change it. I don't know. Like, people are going to, even people making a lot of money, even people have celebrity. There's a guy driving a bus in New York right now who's stringing along 8 women and got 9 kids. You know what? I'm serious, Keith. I'm dead serious. So
I know.
So it ain't just NFL players who are doing stuff. And I get it. They're high profile. They represent the organization, and there's all kinds of other stuff that goes in. The Diana Rossini thing, do you throw that in the mix? Is that another?
Not a good look.
Right.
Not a good look.
Definitely not.
But no charges filed, but not a good look.
Right. Man, the NFL, for a long time, what was the nickname, Rob G? The National Felony League, right? The F stand for felony, because there were so many people with felonies, not misdemeanors. Like, it was pretty amazing. I don't know. It's a little depressing, because you would think that people, with with so much to lose and all that, would have, their lives a little bit better buttoned up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Rashee Rice is another one. Rashee Rice might have to face jail time. He violated his probation.
I don't know how he's not getting jail time this time. I mean, right?
I think he has
to report, right?
There's no way to get out of that 30 days. So it's just not a good look for the league and these young brothers in the league. And I hate to see the conversation on the internet that comes out around them, because it's like you said, it's stuff that goes on in everyday life and general population, but it gives people another thing to say, look at these guys, look at these football players.
Yeah, it is. The NFL's always had that. And whenever you get young people, with a lot of money and a lot of time and whatnot.
Brandon Ayuk.
There's all kinds of stuff. You keep running them off. I get it. But there are a lot of guys too, and I'm going to stick up for those guys. Yeah. Because there's over 1,000 football players. A lot of people you don't hear from. You don't know anything about them. They have a family. You know what I mean? They play football. They're not in trouble. So you got to be careful about a broad brush that all NFL players are caught up in this kind of stuff, and social media is a handful. There's no doubt about it.
Not all. But it's just not a good look in the offseason that all these brothers keep popping up with these things. And I don't know. You can't babysit them all. Like Des Bryant had a babysitter for a while. You can't put somebody there to watch all these guys. It's going to happen, but it's not great. It's not a good look.
What is has the Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter thing died down in New York, or where is
that? I mean, it's certainly quiet now because
of the Knicks and the finals and everything.
The Knicks, and even with signing Odell and Juju and Braxton Berrios, but people are using it as a joke, right? They said like, "Oh, Odell actually signed with the Giants."
That's
even though the quarterback supported Donald Trump. Oh.
Yeah, that was that to me, and I heard people say it, like a smokescreen. Like that was another one of those to give. Let's have something to talk about when they signed those 3 guys. And Odell is another guy who I don't know what he still has. You know what I mean? If there's anything left
Money.
there, you know.
He took everybody out to a nice prime rib dinner at Prime, whatever it is. I wouldn't know here in New York. I've never been in there, but he took all the receivers out to dinner flexing.
Our number 2 of the Odd Couple, stick and stay.
If you're ready for Wemby's comeback in the US of A.
We are Fox Sports.
It's the Odd Couple. You know what time it is. It's your boys.
Let's get it. The Odd Couple is fun.
Check.
And informative.
Check.
What's up, America? You want to talk sports with 1.5 of the best-looking guys in the game?
That game was incredible.
You are wrong. You'll be king of the water cooler.
What's it like working with Rob? Rob in his mind is like Chris Rock mixed with Richard Pryor, so I'm running out of fake laughs. Ha ha, Rob. Rob is very passionate.
Son, you ain't ready for this. I don't have BS in my game. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm right most of the time. Kelvin is the nice guy, wants to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy.
You done? Let me tell you the truth. I bring the energy, a youthful energy. Rob's not gonna see this, is he? And I bring an honest opinion. Michael Jordan, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I'm gonna go play baseball.
Trash Talking Tuesday is the best.
It's a great opportunity for folks to call in and they get to trash whomever.
Who you trashing, Roger?
I'm trashing LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
They can't even hold Wilt Chamberlain's shoes.
Stop talking about the king like that. It's a new era. Let LeBron be the best, please.
I only recognize one king in the United States, and that's Burger King. The connection with the Odd Couple audience is incredible. We really invite them in.
And they can relate, whether it be things about our own personal lives or our takes on sports.
Love you guys. You guys are killing it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boys. They feel like it's just my guys, just my friends, and they join right in on the show.
We talk with the listeners, not at them.
Obviously, you can listen to us live, but you can still check out the podcast. You can check out our YouTube. You can check us out on social media. So in any way you want to get it, you can get it.
Yes.
There's some yelling. It is some hot takes. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll give you that.
It is fun. I agree. Begrudgingly.
The Odd Couple.
Sports talk that's too good and too fun.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals, still about 40 minutes away. The Knicks, who took the opener at San Antonio, are facing the Spurs there again tonight. Knicks have won 12 straight this postseason. The playoff record, Golden State's 15 in a row in 2017. The Finals opener drew nearly 17 million total viewers. Former coach Paul Westhead won the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award from the Coaches Association. Stanley Cup Final Game 3 is Saturday night. Broncos linebacker Jonathan Cooper and his girlfriend were each arrested for domestic violence. At the French Open, number 2 Alexander Zverev advanced to Sunday's final. He's never won a Grand Slam event. To baseball, today at Wrigley, San Francisco 18-3 winners against the Cubs. At Philadelphia, bottom of the fourth, it's 6-3 Phillies over the White Sox. Detroit leads the Mariners 3-1, bottom of the fifth. Red Sox up 2-1 at the Yankees in the fourth. I'm Steve DeSager.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Our number 2 here on the Odd Couple
2.
On a funky Flashback Friday. Hour 1 just blew by. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson in for Kelvin Washington. And the world's biggest soccer tournament is here. And guess what? You can trade every match on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use the code ODD to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi. Trade on anything. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube. You can listen to us on, of course, Fox Sports Radio, Sirius XM Channel 83, and on YouTube. Just search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. After you're done, just tap the thumbs up icon, comment away, and let us know if you agree with me or Keith, and we can go from there. Again, just search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe. Don't forget, coming up in about 28 minutes, Mark Funky Cole Medina, of course, a Fox Sports Radio NBA insider. So Funky Cole will be joining us.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yes, let's get into this, Keith, as we go to hour number 2 here. Rob G., Charles Barkley had something really interesting to say about Jalen Brunson.
That's right. We're counting down tip-off of Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Knicks up 1-0 here in San Antonio in this NBA Finals. And Charles Barkley, friend of the show, friend of the program, was on PTI earlier this week with Michael Wilbon, Tony Corners, and more friends of the program. We love all those guys.
Absolutely. I know everybody.
And even though Rob's on the Wemby train, and rightfully so, there's a lot of people right now jumping on the Jalen Brunson bandwagon, including our friend the Chuckster, who had some very high praise for the diminutive point guard.
Listen, I said this a few years ago. I think Brunson might turn out to be the greatest free agent signing. I'm not talking about LeBron and Kevin Durant and guys like that, but I think Brunson, if he's able to deliver a championship to New York, it'll be the greatest free agent signing in NBA history. There's nobody knew he was going to be this good. I didn't. You guys, nobody. No. When New York signed him, they didn't think he was going to be this good. He's turned them into a perennial contender. They went from never being talked about to the conference finals last year. Now they're in the finals because of Brunson. So if he's able to finish this journey, Mike, it would be the greatest free agent sign in NBA history.
I think, Keith, you can go first. And I think he even had to stop himself because there's some big free agents who have done way more than Brunson. I get it about the caliber compared to the other guys. But, Keith, what's your take on Barkley in this?
Yeah, first off, job not finished, job finished, job not finished. They still have to go out and win the finals, okay? I understand.
I agree with that.
I understand Charles has to, have some hot takes. He has to, have a hyperbolic take, like something like that. He's got to say something like that with his chest. I'll say this, though. for the New York Knicks, it's already set in stone. NBA all-time, it's tough to say. I guess, I didn't like the part where he said not talking about LeBron and KD. Why not?
Right.
They won championships joining the teams that they joined, but I guess it's because it felt like they joined super teams, right? They joined a team that already had stars. This Knicks team didn't have stars when Brunson came here. The credit goes to Leon Rose. It also goes to Rick Brunson. Leon Rose was an agent with CAA. Rick Brunson was one of his clients. They are close, like family friends. And when they took a chance to bring Jalen here, Knicks fans, right at WFAN, I remember doing shows and talking. People thought it was a mid move. They thought that they were like, they didn't understand why they were doing it. They're like, this is typical Knicks. These guys don't know what they're doing. Why are they doing this? And the Knicks never have a point guard. They finally found their point guard. And look where they are today. And look at how polished this dude is, how much of a lion this dude is. Nobody knew that, but you know who knew it? Leon Rose, Rick Brunson, and James Dolan, who hired Leon Rose to do the job. So I think for the Knicks, it's set in stone. And I think you can mention it with LeBron and with KD, even more so because he did not join superstars like Steph Curry or Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, they started to add around him. They went out and added Cat, OG Anunoby, Bridges. They added guys around. Even had to go add Josh Hart. They added to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, I don't think you can make that claim in the NBA, and I get it. The Knicks haven't won since Moby Dick was a guppy, so I get the reason why Barkley would even say that, because it would be monumental. They haven't won since the 70s. You know what I mean? Yes, they went to the finals before in 94. They went in 99. I get that, but it's been since the 70s that they actually won a championship. So it would be huge. But when you look at LeBron going to Miami and then, going to 4 straight NBA finals, right? Winning 2 championships, KD by himself elevated what you think about the Warriors, right? As good as Steph and Clay and Draymond, they choked down a 3-1 lead. What happened when KD got there? They became unbeatable. So you can't poo-poo KD's presence and what he was able to do with Golden State. They begged him to come, Keith. Why did they beg him to come? They just choked down a 3-1 lead, the first team in NBA history to give up a 3-1 lead in the finals, right? So
yeah, I think when you think about it, though, it's just because we all knew it was game, set, match. Remember back then they were calling KD a cupcake. It wasn't that type of thing. I think a lot is to be said about how you enter and, kind of under-promise and over-perform for Jalen Brunson.
What we left out one other guy, and Shaq, and the Shaq factor,
yeah,
right?
But he was joining Kobe.
Okay, but they went and got him for a reason, and when he got there, they became a juggernaut. They won 3 in a row, and they went, what did they go, Rob? 4 out of 5? Rob G, 4 out of 5? I mean, I'm just saying, his impact, that's another free agent. He was a free agent.
Yeah, but like you said, the time, since 73 and really since 99, since they've been here, I'm outside with these kids. I went to the first game in the playoffs. I've been out there interviewing people. I talked to a lot of these people out there. A lot of them are under the age of 27.
Oh, no, I get it.
They weren't even alive. They weren't even alive for 99.
They can't fathom. And I'm going to tell people who are not from New York, okay, when you see the overzealous of the Knicks fans, it's for a reason. In New York, you have so many pro teams. All the affiliations are split. And you know this, Keith, growing up in New Jersey and being a Nets fan, okay? They're in Brooklyn now, but they were in New Jersey. The Knicks were the only team that had the entire city. Yankees and Mets, split. Jets and Giants, split. Hockey, the Rangers, Islanders, split. And it was always just the Knicks. Am I right or wrong?
You're 1,000% correct, and that is shining even brighter today.
That is why the Knicks, when people go, why are they going bananas? Because New York is never connected like this. New York is never where everybody, when the Mets won the World Series, half the city, you think Yankee fans went to the parade? The Mets
parade?
Were sick. They were sick. You think Met fans go to the Yankee parades during all those years with Jeter and all that? No,
they were laughing at us when Judge dropped the ball in the 5th inning against the Dodgers. No.
So I think that's the the dynamics of why when you watch from afar and you say, why are these Knicks fans crazy? Or it seems like everybody in New York's going crazy because that really the Knicks are the only team that's held the fan base for that long. I'm going to say that if Brunson does get it done and wins the NBA Finals MVP, you'll have an argument. I don't know if he can supersede. He'll be in a conversation about it, like Charles talked about, because even Charles had to say, excluding those guys, because LeBron's imprint was so big going to Miami. You can't. Am I right? That's a big part of NBA history. The Warriors go from winning one nice championship, choking down another one, to being unbelievable, right, when KD showed up. Shaq and Kobe, they teamed up, couldn't beat them. So it just depends. And I'm with you. I get it. It's a little premature. It's one game. But, you can forecast and see if it's able to happen. And it is a unique situation. And the Knicks lucked out. You remember, was it Rob G, the Mavericks didn't want to pay him, Jalen Brunson, and not even a lot of money. You know this, Keith.
No one wanted to draft him.
They didn't. I mean, it's an incredible story, to be honest.
Yeah, I pulled something up from my notes. Not only is Jalen Brunson the guy that they're saying they're going to put his face on the Statue of Liberty, he's Batman. Breaking news, New York City's crime hit a historic low in 2026. NYC's fewest murders and shootings in the first 5 months of a year in its history. Think about this run. For the last 5 months, it has been peace. It has been kumbaya. It has been everybody united.
I'm going to give the mayor some credit. Go ahead. You give Jalen Brunson. I'm going to give the mayor credit. They told me that New York was going to hell in a handbasket. That's what they said. And now you're giving me stats talking about how low crime is.
Because of Jalen Brunson, the greatest free agent signing of all time.
Okay. Is that it?
Hey, I'm outside. I'm telling you, I'm in the city. I'm on the train. I'm talking to people. And, yeah, there are black people, white people, Hispanic people, Middle Eastern people, Asian people.
In other words, New York, right.
It is the most diverse everything, everywhere. You can't go anywhere without seeing different languages, customs, whatever. When you get off that train, like I got off the train Wednesday at Penn Station and came out, everybody is wearing orange and blue. They're dancing. They're in each other's videos. They're having conversations with strangers. And nobody is even letting any crazy stuff go on. After the Knicks win, it does get a little bit of crazy. But
remember,
NYPD is out there deep.
They did stop them from watching out on the street because there was a little stuff going on.
Well, that was because
it was lifted now.
They got to the finals. So that celebration, they didn't get to do that last year. And 2 years ago, they were out there chanting Knicks in 8, Knicks in 8. So what happened was something that never happened before. The Knicks are going to the finals. People bugged out. They lost their minds. So, they brought it back, but they told people, you got to chill. They upped the police force. I was out there Wednesday. Like, they literally have 300 police officers out there. They're not letting anybody climb things because it gets so out of control. They're scaling buildings and poles, Rob.
Yeah,
I've
crazy.
seen it with
I've
my
seen
own
the young
eyes.
guys, yeah, and if they fall down, they're going to be in trouble. So no doubt about it. All right, we want to hear from you. We value your opinion. 877-99 on Fox. 877-99-663-69. Would an NBA championship make Jalen Brunson the greatest free agent signing in NBA history? We'll continue that conversation next with you, Rob Parker, Keith McPherson in for Kelvin Washington on this funky Flashback Friday here on The Odd Couple, where we deliver insight, not noise. And you know what you need to do? Stick and stay.
Because we're not just a podcast in the US of A.
Exactly. So for those who obviously big time listeners, you know about this already. If you're not, or if you just missed that particular day, we had a conversation about Rob was starting basically saying, one thing we agree on, we don't often agree, is that James Dolan has been a ridiculous owner, and some of the stunts that he's made over the last 20 years. You brought up Charles Oakley being one. We all remember that scene, him pushing security and
they threw him out.
Watch, or threw him out, kicked him out. He hasn't been back since. And so now the conversation's become, and this was back in, he was arrested with that altercation back in 2017. So now the decision was made, of course, by James Dolan, who apparently is refusing him to come in. He won't let him come even current day, as they're in the first finals appearance since 99. And so Rachel Nichols talked about the leagues. Basically, they're pulling out all the stops. They're saying, look, we got to rectify this. And they've gone as far as to even include Adam Silver and Michael Jordan, who we know is, if you don't know, he's one of Oakley's best friends since
100%
with the Bulls back in the 80s. That's been his guy. He was like Jordan's protector when he was with the Bulls. And so they've tried to broker some peace deals, Rob. They tried to figure it out with James Dolan, but Jordan wasn't successful. Adam Silver wasn't successful. And apparently he's banned for life. And that's just what they're saying.
I'm going to say this, too. If you remember, and you could, Google it yourself, Spike had an incident, too, with Dolan and the Madison Square Garden. Don't you remember?
He had his normal VIP route that technically you're not supposed to take.
Players come in that way, but he used to come in through that same
and everybody knows who that is and who's been doing it. And then he blocked him. And I told you another thing that drives me crazy about James Dolan. So if you're literally doing your job as a journalist and you write something negative about him, and it's just not even a hit piece, you're just doing accurate journalism. He's banned journalists. He's banned lawyers who are suing, who their plaintiffs may be suing MSG for other things. So remember, it's not just the Knicks. They do a million other things. And they have facial recognition technology, Rob, where if you're a lawyer going to see a play, you're going to see Hamilton at MSG, beep, boop, boop, it picks you up, and you literally can't get into, they're going to see your play. It's just been crazy. So Jordan trying to figure this out. And remember, Dolan has said it's not, quote unquote, Rob, necessarily a lifetime ban. He said, I think it's the most important thing that we need to keep the guard in a place that's comfortable and safe for everyone who goes there. And this is in regard to Charles Oakley. He said he's concerned about his anger management issues and potential alcohol issues.
See, I'm glad that Michael Jordan is gotten involved, and even the commissioner, because I told you this too before. Like, people have their issues. We've seen Isaiah and Magic, right? Make up on television and talk it out, and they had a falling out. They used to be best of friends, vacation, all that. Things happen in life, and it's just that game. And when you share, Kelvin, blood, sweat, and tears, and you're trying to win and all that, and it's a teammate, and you know what I mean? You spend the amount of time. This is not like a regular job. I just can't. You could leave a job. You're working a 9 to 5, Kelvin, and you have a rift with somebody at the job, and you move on. You can move on. No. We were around each other every day for 6 months, more than you with your significant other. We've cried together, laughed together, played cards together, showered together. You know what I mean? Like, you become like a brother to each other. And that's why I think it's so important, and why they can't just let it go. And Charles Oakley was the ultimate teammate. As somebody who covered Charles Oakley during those days with the Knicks when I was a beat writer for the Daily News in New York, people used to always say, oh, it's a shame that Patrick Ewing's never going to win or didn't win a championship. I used to say it's a shame Charles Oakley. Nobody dove into the crowd. Nobody dove for more loose balls. Nobody defended their teammates more than Charles Oakley. And I'm not saying that he's above, penalty. Reproach, and he's didn't do anything wrong, and he's been totally railroaded. I'm saying both sides can soften and understand what it means for both sides.
That's the key part,
That's
Rob.
it. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's just saying that's the key part to me, is that Oakley, I guarantee you, he done said some things that's upset people.
No doubt.
He and maybe there has been some alcohol issues. But my thing is, to your point, every now and again it's okay to be the bigger person. Every now and again it's okay to extend that olive branch, right, and to say, hey, you know what? This man meant a lot to us. I'm not going to lie, this season, this run, this energy for the city, for this team means a lot. And James Dolan, if you ever want to get in the good graces of the city of New York, and You do this. You come out and you extend an olive branch. You say, yo, man, I may have been handled some things, said some things. You obviously did some things wrong, but we're family. This Knicks thing is a family. To me, this is how you build the culture of the Knicks. So really, the culture of the Knicks is the fans more than anything else.
It is the Odd Couple on a funky Flashback Friday. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson in for Kelvin Washington. 877-99 on Fox is our telephone number. And guess what? Stream us live wherever you happen to be in the iHeart app. Catch us and all the other fine Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app and stream us all day, every day. Be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app so that you'll always pop up at the top of the screen. Don't forget, Mark Funky Cole Medina coming up in about 8 minutes. So we got a lot to get to. People want to jump in on this Brunson. Would he be the best free agent signing ever? Charles Barkley thinks he would be, if you don't count kind of LeBron. And then where are you on this if the Knicks win the championship? Tony in Miami, let's kick it off. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tony?
What's up, fellas? Yeah, Barkley's dead on. The Durant and LeBron, the Heat, just with Wade and Bosch, I know they would have been to, I don't know how four, they would have won one. You don't
know that for sure. I mean,
I don't know it, but they would have. They won 3 years before that. The Golden State, it's like the sports world. That wasn't sports, Rob. It went into this weird 8-year bizarreness, and then we got back to what sports is. This is sports. If New York wins this, it's big. He's doing what Luka was projected to do. The whole thing got flipped around. So I don't know anything that would be bigger than this. And you could make an argument if he wins in New York. I know he's not a better athlete or a better player, but if that team wins with Brunson as the leader, that's something that could surpass what LeBron did in Cleveland.
I don't think that. I think you're overhyped because it's been so long. But the Knicks have a history. I mean, are we erasing Willis Reed and Clive Frazier? I mean, seriously, are we erasing them?
We're not erasing them, but they're not registered for a lot of folks, man. I'm telling you, around here is recency bias.
But there's a history that you can't. Everything that happened yesterday, Keith, I get it. Don't tell me like I hear this all the time. You can't be that. There's context to everything, right? And it doesn't mean that you look at somebody or Brunson and give them credit for winning, but they're not superseding some of the all-time greats because they won one championship. I'm sorry.
In the conversation around here, Rob, they actually have me on Fox 5 News, on podcasts, fighting me because they're saying that he is the new Derek Jeter. I'm like, wait a minute.
Stop.
Jeter's got 5 rings. Wait a minute. Did y'all not see Jeter come in like from rookie to whatever? Like, but that's what I'm saying. It makes me uncomfortable because it's like they're erasing history, and not just with the Knicks, with every player in New York City. They have already put Jalen Brunson on the Mount Rushmore for New York Knicks.
If they don't win, okay, I'm just giving you. Where will the Jalen Brunson conversation go? Will he still be an all-time great because he got him to the finals?
Yeah, they're still going to say build the statue for him.
No, they won't. No, if they lose, no, they will not.
They having fun. These are Knicks fans. They've been the ultimate losers. They've been the laughing stocks. They've been the ultimate bums.
I get it. It's just like if the Lions would ever win a Super Bowl. Jeffrey in Florida, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jeffrey?
Yes, sir. Hey, big fans, y'all.
Thank you.
Hey, okay, so real quick, I will say, I believe Shea was traded, and I'll be honest, I'm from L.A., lifelong Laker fan. I believe he was traded, so he wasn't a free agent.
No, he was traded. Right, he was traded.
Yeah. Brunson, he closes like Kobe did. Like, he's got game in the fourth quarter, so I can definitely see him being part of the top 3 best free agent signings ever.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, I get it. That's fair because even Charles had to, say not counting, right? He even had to say it because he understands the history of LeBron, right, going to Miami. Keith, the history of KD going to Golden State, and the history of Shaq going to Los Angeles. It's just so easy to just say because Brunson helped the Knicks win a championship, or if he does, that he immediately jumps over everybody. I think he'd be in a conversation, and people would have to look at the context of it, but I get it. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. 877-99 on Fox. Drew in New Jersey, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
Hey, I think that this wouldn't be the greatest free agency signing in history, but I think this would be the greatest bargain in NBA history as far as free agency. Especially, I don't know if people remember, when he signed, people said that this was the saddest free agency. I think Chris Broussard said that. So I think he's overcome a lot. And I think what the guy said about Kobe, I think I've never seen somebody so small play like a bigger player than he is. Kind of like, he reminds me of AI in a way where it doesn't seem like he's impacted by taller physical guys. But I do think that a championship would propel him past Clyde. And I'll say this why. Number one, most of the best players in the NBA during the time were in the ABA. Number two, it was a committee. Walt, it was Willis Reed, Busher, all of that.
And it's not, and the Knicks are a committee too. I know everybody wants to give Jalen Brunson all the credit, but until they've got Cat here and the other pieces and brought in Bridges, like he needed other people too. And Anunoby, it ain't just Jalen Brunson. I know he closes and gets some baskets at the end, but let's not act like he's doing it by himself. Like, they got a team, they have a squad. Keith, you know this. This is a team.
Yeah, they have a lot higher paid players around him. Look at OG Anunoby's got the highest contract. Carl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges got paid.
They're loaded with people that all came from somewhere else. Rob G, you gave me the thing. What do they have? No drafted Nick the play. Nobody on the team is drafted.
No, they have a couple. Deuce McBride, Tyler Coleman, Mitchell Robinson. In their starting 5. No, none of the guys in the starting 5. No.
Right.
But listen, going back to the money, Brunson is the 44th highest paid player in the NBA. He's on his way to being NBA Finals MVP. That's a bang for your buck.
If he
That's
does,
a bargain
if he
right
gets
there.
If he gets there, don't put the cart before the horse.
I know. We about to watch the game. I got it on right here. I'm itching too. I can't wait till they throw the ball in the air. Let's get it.
Yeah, we got a long way to go. It'll be halftime before this show is over, but we'll see what happens. All right, Mark Funky Cole Medina is coming up next, but let's get you caught up. Mr. Steve DeSager.
So we got about 10-15 minutes till tip-off in San Antonio. Knicks took the opener of the NBA's finals. This is game number 2 of the best of 7. The Knicks have won 12 straight. Their last loss was well over a month ago. The finals opener drew nearly 17 million total viewers. Former coach Paul Westhead won the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award from the Coaches Association. 3 WNBA games tonight. Stanley Cup Final Game 3 is Saturday night. Broncos linebacker Jonathan Cooper and his girlfriend were each arrested for domestic violence. At the French Open, number 2 Alexander Zverev advanced to Sunday's final. He's never won a Grand Slam event. Serena Williams will play doubles in both London and Berlin this month. On Saturday, it's U.S. Soccer versus Germany in an exhibition in sold-out Chicago. U.S. defender Chris Richards out again with an ankle injury. The Americans open their World Cup schedule in L.A. next Friday night against Paraguay on Fox TV. Iran's World Cup team has received its U.S. visas. Iran moved camp from the U.S. to Mexico from Tucson to Tijuana, but Iran's first 2 World Cup games are in Los Angeles. Scotty Scheffler has now made the cut at 75 straight events, but he's 1 over par. Tied for 19th at the Memorial, 10 shots behind J.T. Poston, who has a 1-stroke lead. NASCAR Hall of Famer Ned Jarrett died at the age of 93. He was the series champ in 1961 and 65. In Major League Baseball today at Wrigley Field, the Giants were 18-3 winners over the Cubs. Matt Chapman of the Giants, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. San Francisco led 16-0 in the 6th. Tigers pitcher Tarek Skubal will make a rehab start in A-ball Sunday. He had elbow surgery a month ago. Right now, the Tigers lead 3-1 over the Mariners in the bottom of the 6th. An actual good start from Framber Valdez, 5 innings and 5 strikeouts. At Philadelphia, it's bottom of the 6th. Philly 6-5 over the White Sox, a combined 5 home runs in that game so far. The Red Sox and Sonny Gray lead 5-3 at the Yankees in the top of the 6th. Ryan Weathers giving up the 5 runs in 5 innings as the New York starter. Trey Savage on the mound in Toronto. Blue Jays 3-1 over the Orioles, top of the 6th. Tampa Bay is shutting out Miami 4-0 in the top of the 6th. The Rays first in the AL East half game over the Yankees. The Rangers activated shortstop Corey Seager. Houston activated second baseman Jose Altuve. Back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you. It is the Odd Couple on a Funky Flashback Friday. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson in for Kelvin Washington. Kelvin will be back on Monday. Now let's welcome in Mark Funky Cole Medina. Of course, Fox Sports Radio NBA insider. And Mark, say hello to Keith. How are you?
Keith, Rob, I'm doing well. Always a blast to talk with you. Rob, I got a prediction here. Spurs are going to dominate Game 2. You know why?
Why?
Everyone knows it's WEMBY.
Everyone knows it's WEMBY. Keith hates that song. He's in New York. He just hates it.
What? I could listen to it all day. I mean, just feel free to keep playing it on a loop.
There you go. We love it. No doubt about it. We'll see when it's all said and done. He's done an incredible job to get his team here. He'll bounce back. Just let's talk about WEMBY has bounced back when he hasn't had, big games and whatnot. For a young guy, man, he shows resilience.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the bounce back. I mean, he had 20 points, 4-15 shooting in that Game 5 loss to Oklahoma City. And then Game 6, Game 7, he completely dominated on both ends of the floor. Now, part of that had to do with Chet Holmgren being a statue out there all series and not being aggressive with shots. We saw in Game 1, Karl-Anthony Towns was aggressive offensively, and even though he fell into foul trouble as he often does, he still made defensive stops. He still made things somewhat difficult. But I think it didn't help that WEMBY sometimes forced the issue. De'Aaron Fox didn't hit shots, especially
he was
late
bad.
in the game. And
he was really bad, Fox.
Both those things will change in Game 2.
No doubt.
What's up, Mark? This is Keith checking in. I expect them to come out with like a hunger and a tenacity, like wild animals. I expect them to be physical too. And you remember they got physical with OKC, not just like a little extra stuff too, not just physical basketball, but maybe some stuff after the whistle. Do you expect them to have that mentality with the Knicks, and how do you expect the Knicks to respond if they step up that level of intensity tonight?
Oh, I expect that completely. I mean, to be clear, it is Game 2. It's not Game 7, but I think their mentality is going to be like this is an elimination game, because if they're down 0-2, heading into New York without home court advantage, the pent-up excitement with the Garden not having a final since 1999, it's almost going to feel like the series is over. So I think that everyone's A game is going to be raised here with Wemby, with Fox, and that comes with physicality, but I think it will be controlled. Now, here's the thing. The Knicks, they're comfortable playing physical too, so they don't back down from that challenge, and you have a lot of guys that can play through the pain, like Jalen Brunson, that can play through contact, like Towns and Josh Hart getting rebounds inside. So it's not going to be about, their opponent wilting or anything, but I think the bigger thing is you're going to see the Spurs play with so much more desperation that's going to result in, a lot more easier baskets, some defensive stops, and some of those intangible hustle plays that you're going to see a much different result from the Spurs than we saw in the first game.
Of course, the Knicks win game one, so people don't look at, stats as closely because it's about wins and losses. I always say sports has a short menu. Jalen Brunson did take 31 shots to get to 30 points. Wasn't really efficient. If you have many nights like that, there's a chance you don't win. That's an awful lot of shots to get 30 points.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Jalen Brunson. To his credit, he did not have a good game to start out. He was also playing through some injuries that caused him to, leave the game temporarily with his knee and ankle. But in the fourth quarter, that's when it's money time for him. So I think what that means in game two is that even if he gets off to the slow start and the Spurs are having their way with them, they have to be ready and anticipate that there's a new gear in the fourth quarter, and that's something that I don't want to say is inevitable, but is expected. So what else do you do to shut off the water faucet? Make sure that the others, as Shaq likes to say, does not get involved. You can't have Josh Hart getting double-digit rebounds or Karl-Anthony Towns dominating on both ends of the floor or OG Anunoby hitting tough shots. So if Jalen Brunson is doing his fourth quarter magic, so be it, as long as everything else is taken care of.
Hey, I expect Brunson to be compromised a little bit. Even in game one, I'm like, this is heroic. This is storybook. This guy's coming back. He had the blood on his knee, everything. Like, I expect him to be a little hobbled, right? Like, it's the finals. The adrenaline's there. I'm sure they'll shoot his knee up. He'll be good. But I'm looking at Karl-Anthony Towns tonight. I like how he played in game one. I like what he said after the game. And I really think that this is a legacy series for him. The narrative in New York was he's soft. They can't win with him. They'll never win anything with him. Now everybody's quietly putting respect on his name. What do you expect him to do for an encore tonight in game two?
Yeah, I don't think that Karl-Anthony Towns was complacent by any means in game one, even though I think it's arguably his best performance ever in his career because of what he did to Wemby, the obvious stakes in the final. So I think that you're still going to see an effective version of Karl-Anthony Towns with the offensive versatility as a driver, post-up player, outside shooter. And he'll be somewhat respectable defensively against Wemby, but that doesn't mean he's going to win the matchup. I just think he's going to take on the challenge. But because Wemby is going to be a lot more efficient while being equally aggressive, it's almost not going to matter because Victor Wembanyama is the best center in the NBA for a reason, and you're going to see that tonight. And the other thing is, De'Aaron Fox is a very key X factor. When you talk to people around the Spurs organization, they felt like he was the unsung hero of their team this season because of his veteran presence. Even though Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle have been very good young talents, he's been the guy that has made those baskets in crunch time, and they're going to need him to do that. So I think Cat will still play well, but the Spurs are going to elevate their game significantly. That's not going to be enough to make the difference.
Yeah. Our guest is, of course, Mark Funky Cole Medina, of course, a Fox Sports Radio NBA insider, and Steve DeSega gave us the numbers for game one. We expect them to be good. And coming into the series, this was ideal for the NBA. I know nobody wants to hear that in OKC listening to the Odd Couple, but the idea that you have, Wemby, who obviously could be the face of the league, is an emerging face of the league, especially if he wins in his first trip to the postseason, that will put you in a very special category. But then the Knicks, and it's not just the biggest market as far as New York and television. It's that they're hungry. It's that they haven't won since the Louisiana Purchase. It's been so long. 1973 is inconceivable. Am I right, Mark? When you think it just seems inconceivable that team hasn't been able to win a championship.
Yeah, I mean, you're right with almost everything. You outlined the context well, but Louisiana Purchase, I think, took place in 1803, so it wasn't quite as long. But you're on to something, Rob. I mean, hear me out. I think that this is this Knicks Spurs series, this finals, the excitement, buzz, significance, exact opposite of what we saw Knicks Spurs in 1999, because that was coming off the year after Michael Jordan retired from the first time, and the Bulls had their run of 2 3-peats. It was a lockout-shortened season.
Yep, 50
so there
games.
was a feeling that, you know what, like this season deserves an asterisk. And the Spurs then and now, but especially then, they're good, but they weren't exciting. They had star players, but they're boring, right? So this excitement level is through the roof for the exact reasons why you outlined. Victor Wembanyama, face of the league. They're back in the championship mix. The Knicks are back finally since 99, but most importantly 73. So that pent-up excitement, big market and stars, it certainly makes Adam Silver in the league office pretty happy.
Keith, you got one last one?
Yeah, let me sneak one in before this game tips off. Shout out to Wendell Wilson in the chat who kind of got me thinking back to this way. Mitch Johnson versus Mike Brown. Can you speak on the coaching advantage? I think it's Mike Brown. Definitely was it in game one with the buttons he pushed for the Knicks and how they outlasted them. Mitch Johnson's got to step up tonight, too.
Hey, I'm surprised you said that out loud because Rob calls Mike Brown Charlie Brown. But
yeah, I'm going to hold on to it because when Wemby's holding that championship trophy, I'm going to be vindicated.
Well, look, James Dolan said it best that they expect a championship, so that you're on the same page as him. But I think where you give Mike Brown credit, they have been a better defensive team. Eventually, they played at a better offensive pace, resulted in better chemistry depth. I think that they got through the playoffs not just because the opponents were terrible, but they had a deeper rotation, partly because he tapped into it in the regular season, and these guys are relatively fresher in the playoffs than their opponents were. But it comes down to talent, and Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs have a lot better talent with Mitch Johnson. I think the low-hanging fruit is scrutinizing, of course. Hey, why would you play De'Aaron Fox when he's struggling instead of Dylan Harper, who's a great defensive player? And I give him some grace in that. It wasn't about placating a veteran. I think that he was just leaning in on the optimism that De'Aaron Fox has proven in the fourth quarter, and he would give that vote of confidence to him. But I think if that continues, eventually he'll change course. So Mike Brown has the edge. But you know what? As Rob Parker says, maybe he'll morph into Charlie Brown in game 2.
You never know, and then people will be all up in arms. All right, we appreciate you, Mark. Thank you so much, Mark Funky Cole Medina. Thanks for your insight.
Appreciate you guys, and feel free to continue to play the jingle.
Oh, you know it. Just for everyone knows it's Brunson. Hey, you come up with some Brunson song. After they win the championship. That's the only way that Brunson gets a song. Wemby got his song before he actually won a championship because he's only 22. All right, Odd Couple, right here on Fox Sports Radio. And coming up, we're going to talk about a little Shohei Ohtani. And I think people are going overboard, as usual, about Shohei. So we'll get into that. Keith and I don't think there are two bigger baseball fans out there on the radio than me and Keith. So we'll dive into that and much more. It is the Odd Couple on a Funky Flashback Friday. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay.
So we can finally put Ohtani in his place in the U.S. of A.
Oh, there you go.
There was a congressional, I want to call it a hearing, but a meeting, I guess, took place earlier today, and it was all focused around what's going on in the world of college sports. As you guys know, we talked about it last week. There is a Protect College Sports Act that has been presented where they'd like Congress to get involved and police the world of college athletics. Today, Nick Saban met with the Congress. Here's a snippet.
Congress does not need to micromanage college athletics. There's lots of people out there that can help us do that. Congress does need to fix the mess in the courts, create a national framework so people inside college sports can enforce fair rules. Without legal certainty, every rule becomes another lawsuit, every standard becomes another risk, and the system keeps drifting toward the professional model.
The last person I want to hear from is Nick Saban. You mean the guy who quit after he was able to undermine the system? All of his kids had these cars and all this stuff. They were like it wasn't above. It wasn't NIL money, Kelvin, but those players happened to be doing pretty well down there, and he won all his championships. These guys got some nerve to come in, and now they want to regulate. They could have done it in the beginning, Kelvin, right? If they would have made the system and cut in the players on all these billions of dollars that they make from television revenue, we wouldn't be here. But they were so damn greedy. And now all the old guard have to show up and say, stop these guys from making money. This isn't my system. Nick Saban, you quit. You walked away. You don't deserve to have any say. You're not in college football anymore. Retire already. Stay on television. The idea that he's going to be the guy to speak up? Where's the provision to stop? Let's have a profits cap on the NCAA and the colleges. You can only make 6% on your money. Let's have a cap and stop these college coaches making gazillion dollars and walking out on the kids. Address that, Nick Saban. These kids have been taken advantage of forever with a crooked system. The NCAA, for as long as I've been alive, has been organized crime. Organized crime. You guys work, we collect the money, and you get nothing. God forbid you get a free pizza. They threw the kids out of school, Kelvin, for getting a free pizza or a tattoo or giving up their warm-up jersey. And these guys now talk about they want the federal government to step in. Poppycock, Boulder Dash. Don't listen to Nick Saban.
Listen, I don't have much to add. We had the same ideal on this. Ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? Now Nick Saban, who used to sit up there, Rob, what he would have when he do a press conference? A big old Coke bottle. Because you know what? Yep. Coke was allowed to give him all the money. You know what else he was allowed to do near in the Alabama area? Have a bunch of car dealerships that he owns. He was able to thrive off all this, make millions upon, not like $1 million. I get it, okay, you got to get paid. You're running a college football program. No, tens of millions of dollars. Any way you want, endorsements up the wazoo. Him and Deion Sanders got the Aflac commercials. And now all of a sudden that the kids are getting paid. And yes, I do believe that it's a little wild right now and you can kind of find a way to maybe structure a little bit. But the idea to act like it's some national emergency and it's run amok, that we've had a few years of a little chaotic. It's a little chaotic right now. They're still trying to find their footing and figure it out. But that this will be the guy that's like, yo, we need to put a stop to. And Rob, you know what I view it as too? Nick Saban, one of the all-time greatest coaches of all time. But you know what I quit it to as well? Nick Saban quit when everybody was on the same footing, Rob.
Yep.
The minute now that everybody was like, oh, bet, so I can have some donors, I can have some boosters paid, and we can figure out our
Now
NIL,
he didn't want to be a part of it anymore, right?
Now he would have maybe gotten smoked by a Kurt Signetti or something. Now he's like, oh, no, this is getting too hard. I don't want to do it. Where I used to have a linebacker for 4 years who might only play one because he would just say, long as I can get that one season under Alabama, you know what I mean? Now he's like, shoot, I can go over there to Indiana. I can go to Kansas State or whoever's got some money for me. And so, again, it's just a different this him being the guy to do this, I just have issues with that.
Of all people.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. TNA Thursday Night Impact every week. Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total nonstop action as you watch your favorite TNA wrestling stars. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
It is the Odd Couple. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson. On a funky flashback Friday, the Odd Couple. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. And quick update. It is 13-10 Spurs. Just your quick little thought there, Keith, on what you see so far.
Yeah, the Spurs hitting a three for three. Well, now they're 3 for 4 after Stephen Castle missed that one. But they do look like they got that young energy coming out of the gate.
Oh yeah, no. They I think they understand how important it is and what they need to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is a big game, big time. So I'm not shocked at where they are at home and the idea of the importance of the game. You know what I mean? You don't get here winning a Game 7 to even get to the finals to think that they're not going to be ready and understand how important it is. All right, Rob G., Shohei Ohtani's off to a great start to the season. I don't know if he'll win the ERA title because he won't have enough innings, but he could win. Right? If he wins enough, I don't know. Could he win Cy Young? I guess he could. But he's also hitting now. And now Will Smith, catcher from the Dodgers, he has high praise for Ohtani.
Yes, fresh off of Ohtani's performance on Wednesday night. 6 scoreless innings while reaching base 5 times. In the process, lowered ERA to .74. Raised his batting average above 300. After the game, Will Smith says, quote, "He's the best player that's ever walked this earth."
Again, prisoner of the moment. The hyperbole is through the roof. I get it. He's a unicorn, Keith, right? We haven't seen anybody like this, and I understand it. I'm not trying to act like he's not a great player, right? He is, and we haven't seen anything like this. But when we talk about the legendary players, Keith, I think that we do people a disservice for guys who have played 20-some-odd years, 24 years, and excelled and put up unbelievable numbers and stats and won all of these awards, and we just want to discount it because he does 2 things, and we get it. Babe Ruth did it, pitch and hit, and I'm not going to be a part of dissing Hank Aaron, dissing Babe Ruth, dissing Willie Mays, and saying
Barry
that
Bonds.
those guys, Barry Bonds, and you know who played
Barry Bonds for me.
For a long time, and I just don't understand it, why someone wants to crown him this early in his career.
Yeah, because he's already got a full trophy case, World Series, MVPs, and he's got the skill set that we've never seen at this level. Like Babe Ruth, I really don't even hold that to what Ohtani does. Seeing the guy go out there and dominate on the mound and then hit 300. My question is, why do they keep pitching to him? If he's this unicorn, walk him. If he's this great hitter, why y'all keep giving him meatballs to hit? I'm not an Ohtani fan. I'm a documented Ohtani hater, but I'm right there with you. He's still got more to do before we just say he is at the top of the hill. There's no one up there with him. There's a lot of greats in baseball, and Ohtani's one of them, but he's not at the top for me.
Even when you look at it, and we've talked about it before, like he's had sub 300 hitting years. It's not like the one that I can't get over, and I'm not going to belabor the point, is Hank Aaron played 24 years. Keith, he had 2,400 RBI. Do you hear me? 24 years, he averaged 100 RBIs.
The best player by far in his time. And
he batted 305 lifetime. It is crazy.
Ohtani's on a super team. And how come nobody gives him any flack for switching sides in the same city? I'm done.
All right. It is the Odd Couple, hour number 3. My goodness, we already there. Hour number 3 coming, and you know what you need to do. Stick and stay.
So we can see how right Rob Parker was about Wemby in the US of A.
Couple. You know what time it is. It's your boys.
Let's get it. The Odd Couple is fun.
Check.
And informative.
Check.
What's up, America? You want to talk sports with 1.5 of the best-looking guys in the game?
That game was incredible.
You are wrong. You'll be king of the water cooler.
What's it like working with Rob? Rob in his mind is like Chris Rock mixed with Richard Pryor, so I'm running out of fake laughs. Ha ha, Rob. Rob is very passionate.
Son, you ain't ready for this. I don't have BS in my game. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. And of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm right most of the time. Kelvin is the nice guy, wants to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy.
You done? Let me tell you the truth. I bring the energy, a youthful energy. Rob's not gonna see this, is he? And I bring an honest opinion. Michael Jordan, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I'm gonna go play baseball.
Trash Talking Tuesday is the best.
It's a great opportunity for folks to call in and they get to trash whomever.
Who you trashing, Roger?
I'm trashing LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
They can't even hold Wilt Chamberlain's shoes.
Stop talking about the king like that. It's a new era. Let LeBron be the best, please.
I only recognize one king in the United States, and that's Burger King. The connection with the Odd Couple audience is incredible. We really invite them in.
And they can relate, whether it be things about our own personal lives or our takes on sports.
Love you guys. You guys are killing it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boys. They feel like it's just my guys, just my friends, and they join right in on the show.
We talk with the listeners, not at them.
Obviously, you can listen to us live, but you can still check out the podcast. You can check out our YouTube. You can check us out on social media. So in any way you want to get it, you can get it.
Yes.
There's some yelling. It is some hot takes. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll give you that.
It is fun. I agree. Begrudgingly.
The Odd Couple.
Sports talk that's too good and too fun.
The San Antonio Spurs are out to a 2013 lead on New York mid-first quarter. This is Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Knicks took the opener. By the way, the Finals opener on TV drew nearly 17 million total viewers. Tonight in San Antonio, 8 points early for Julian Champagnie. The Spurs, 8 points for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson. 3 WNBA games tonight, and the Stanley Cup Final has a Game 3 Saturday night. Coming up Saturday, it's U.S. Soccer against Germany in an exhibition. The World World Cup schedule begins for the Americans in L.A. next Friday night on Fox TV against Paraguay. Scotty Scheffler has now made the cut at 75 straight events. He is one over par, tied for 19th at the Memorial. To Major League Baseball, the Phils have retaken the lead 7-6 over the White Sox, bottom of the seventh. The Giants won today 18-3 at the Cubs in Chicago. I'm Steve DeSager.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 3.
Number 3.
Here on The Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Keith McPherson on a Funky Flashback Friday. Hope you enjoyed a ride thus far. It is 20-16 Spurs, 4:49 to go in the first quarter. And be sure to check out the show on YouTube. That's right. The Odd Couple has its own YouTube channel.
Do it!
All you need to do is search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. And then after you do that, you can do the thumbs up icon. Comment away. Tell us if you're enjoying the show. Again, check us out either on the radio or on YouTube. And all you need to do is search Odd Couple FSR and subscribe. Don't forget, coming up in about 28 minutes, we have Bob Nightingale, one of the best baseball writers in the country, of course, USA Today, MLB columnist. He'll be joining us. We'll get some more baseball talk in this last hour of the program. And, of course, we have a little last call. We'll do that as well. So a lot to get to in the final hour. And 2018 Spurs, what do you like about the pace? Anything, Keith, you're seeing so far?
I know earlier we talked about the fouls and how the game would be officiated. This game started, the Knicks had 5 fouls to the Spurs 1. So that was right on how they're calling this game.
I've been covering this league for a long time. I know how it plays out. You know what I mean? Especially for the road team.
As I'm looking now, Luke Cornett just bumped Brunson. So, there's physicality. It's going to be interesting how they call this game and how it shakes out. But you can already see it affecting the way some of these guys are defending and how they're playing. So, yeah, we got an interesting one here. But the Spurs have a look on their faces, like a nasty look. Like, we're not going quietly. This is our house.
They know it. Like, this is the game. This is the seriously, you can go down 0-2 on the road, you know what I mean, and then come back and win your 2 home games and change things like that. But to lose the first 2 at home and then have to win 4 out of 5, that's just a tall order. You know what I mean? It's just a real tall order. So I don't think that's something that the Spurs can look at and think they can get away with. All right, we got news. We got a little NFL news today. Basically, Rob G., the NFL and the Bears, we're hearing news about their new stadium.
Yeah, it's not the kind of news you want, though, if you're a Bears fan. Let me tell you that right now. Now, as you guys know, they've been trying to get a new stadium for years now. For years. They don't like Soldier Field.
Keith, have you ever been to Soldier Field?
Yes, sir, I have.
Yeah, okay. And they put the spaceship covering over it and all that. They've remodeled it. They've done things. It's right down on the water there, Lake Michigan.
They don't like it, though. They don't like it. They don't like it. And so they've been trying to get a new stadium in Arlington, trying to get a new stadium in downtown, trying to get a new stadium here, all over the place. Well, on Thursday, the Bears Board of Directors voted to advance a stadium development, not in Chicago, not even in the great state of Illinois. Instead, they want to cross the border into Hammond, Indiana. And the anticipation is, barring something really unforeseen, the Chicago Bears will eventually play their home games in a different state.
Here we go. We already saw the Kansas City Chiefs. Where did they go? They went to Kansas, right? They got a new stadium coming in Kansas. Kansas City, Kansas, right? Not Kansas City, Missouri. There are two. They're going across to get their new stadium. And now here comes the Bears. And I'm going to say this to you, Keith. And I believe this. And you're the perfect person to have on this. Being a kid who grew up in New Jersey and with the two football teams in New York. I think the Bears have all right. If they want to move to Indiana, go ahead, move to Indiana, go get the stadium you want, do whatever you want, but you can't take Chicago with you. You can't take Chicago, Keith. Chicago stays. Change your name to the Hammond Bears. Change your name to the Indiana Bears. Whatever you want to change it to, change it. You can't reap the benefits of being called Chicago and playing in Hammond, Indiana once you cross state lines. I've always said, as a kid who grew up in Queens, that the Jets and Giants should have been the Jersey Jets. They should have been the New Jersey Giants. As somebody who grew up in New Jersey, like the Nets, I covered the New Jersey Nets. They played in New Jersey. Where do you feel? Where are you on this? And is it disrespectful to the taxpayers in Indiana who are putting up the freight for this big brand new stadium, and you don't even want to be identified with the place where you're playing?
Yeah, let's go from New Jersey to Indiana to Chicago. First off, being in Jersey as a kid, I remember playing Madden. I remember playing the video game, and they're coming into East Rutherford, New Jersey. And as a kid, I'm like, why they don't rep us? There's two teams. Neither one could be New Jersey. I ended up being a Dallas Cowboys fan. Anywho,
so it bothered you, am I right? Didn't you? What did
it
you
just
say?
It was odd. I didn't know geography yet. I didn't even know where Dallas was. I didn't realize it was all the way in Texas. But hey, I don't have to rep them. There's no pride in repping the New York Giants, the New York Jets. They play in Jersey, but they don't claim us. Nah, I wasn't going that way. Nobody told me to go that way. And now you hear forever all of the people that have to come from Long Island to go see the Giants or Jets over there complain about going to those games. And when they're not good, that stadium is empty, whatever. You'll see how much of a mess it will be when FIFA comes to New York, New Jersey Stadium for the World Cup. Let's go to Indiana now. I've only been to Indiana one time. When I was staying in Chicago for 10 days with my homie and we got bored and we wanted to go to the casino. There's a casino out there called the Lucky Horseshoe Casino. I won $500. I left. And that's all I know about Indiana. Maybe they're trying to get closer to Bloomington to get that Hoosiers look after they won the national championship. I'm 100% right there with you. You cannot make them the Chicago Bears by way of Indiana. They cannot be the Indiana Chicago Bears. The thing about Soldier Field and the Chicago Bears and all that history and them playing outdoors on grass in that area of Chicago where they play is exactly that. It's windy over there. It's right by the water over there. The one time I went there, you can tailgate right out there in the parking lot. You come in, you see the historic stuff. Like, they got to revamp that place. They got to figure something out with that. Chicago is a city that is steeped in tradition. They don't think that they're the second city to New York. They love their sports teams, from the Chicago Bulls to the Blackhawks to the Chicago Cubs. Some people like the White Sox. Moving the Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams to Indiana, I don't care how great the stadium is. I think that's an L. I don't think that's the right move.
Yeah, I'm with you. There are certain places that I don't think people are going to buy into, and it's not like the Clippers' new arena is in Inglewood. That's L.A. proper. You know what I mean? It's L.A. proper. I'm talking about going to another state. Could you, if the Lakers move to, New Mexico, could they still be the Los Angeles Lakers? Or what would be the closest, Rob G, that you could just go over the state? Arizona? Nevada? You know what I mean? Or something that's close to California or close to the area. I don't know. It just feels weird. And if I'm the governor or I'm the mayor of Chicago or whatever it is, you know, when you go, you can't take Chicago with you. We won't allow it to happen because you want the juice of it and you want the history of it, and Chicago sounds better. That's what the Giants and the Jets have done. Mm-hmm. You know that. Why is it called? Why are the Angels who are in Anaheim call themselves the Los Angeles Angels? You know why? Because there's more cachet with Los Angeles being included in that marketplace, even though they're 40 miles away in Anaheim. And Anaheim has its own city, and Anaheim is a fine place in Orange County. But they still decided, from a marketing standpoint, that it's Los Angeles because that's what they want to be in there. Rob G, you're a football fan. You're into the football. Would it bother you if the Bears were still Chicago?
Would it bother me if they moved to Indiana and they kept the name Chicago Bears? Yeah, it's stupid. It insults my intelligence. It's now the Giants and the Jets get away with it because you say, hey, we're a hop, skip, and a jump away. From
And it's what is it, 11 miles or 7 miles? It's close.
And also, they can't build that type of complex in Manhattan.
Right.
They can't build that type of stadium in the city.
And so that one gets a little bit of a pass. But when you have a situation like Chicago where they already have a stadium there, what they're doing is they're just being greedy and they don't want to pay for it themselves. They want the taxpayers to pay for this and someone else to pay for that, and we just collect all the money by hosting the venue there. And so for them to do this kind of thing, and by all accounts, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of where exactly
I
in
can't
Indiana.
believe we're here, Rob.
It's just crazy.
Chicago, of all places,
And the other thing is Chicago, historically, you go and watch their games, cold weather, physical football, that's part of what it is. One of the plans that they've had, or all the plans they've had so far, that were in Illinois and now this one in Indiana, all domes.
Right.
How's that going to make you feel, Rob?
It's another one. As somebody who's covered games at Soldier Field for a long time, I've been covering the league since 1987, the NFL, and to go to all these different stadiums and to seeing what we're doing, it's like the people of Kansas City, too. You don't think they feel like what did we do? All we did is sell out the place every week, right? Every game, we sold out the place. We did everything, and it wasn't enough. Not only are you making $1 gazillion, you want us to pay for your stadium and have it come out of our pockets. So they ditched the people of Kansas City, Missouri to go to Kansas. And now here we are in Chicago. Why are we here? Go if you want. You can go. It's a free country. I'm not mad. If they want to, they got a sweetheart deal. They got a better deal. They want to go to Hammond, Indiana. Fine. But you should be the Hammond Bears. The ham and cheese Bears. That's what they should be called.
The ham and hot dogs. Hot dogs are big out there in Chicago.
Exactly.
They like their brats. They like
all
their
that.
hot dogs.
But ain't no way
Their glizzies.
should you get the opportunity to be able to use Chicago and use that as a flex. Chicago's a major city in this country.
Yeah.
Right? There's something that goes with Chicago.
Even in that division, Rob, you think about it, they put a dome on that stadium in Indiana. The Lions play indoors. The Vikings play indoors. It'll just be Green Bay outside. So that cold dynamic of you got to go there to the frozen tundra and play in the elements in the later months into the playoffs, we're going to start to see that eliminated. And I know there's a narrative around that too. Like we saw that game with the Denver Broncos and how that was affected by snow. But that's fun for us as fans. But the NFL probably doesn't really want that product. They want them to play, in an area that the elements can affect the football and what, plays are run and stuff like that. But I'm stuck on this. If you go to Indiana, be Indiana, whatever,
right.
Rebrand, right? The Commanders exist, change your name to whatever it's going to be. That is Chicago, Soldier Field, historic. If you leave that area, and even you know how it is.
When the Baltimore Colts left and went to Indianapolis, right? They didn't call themselves the Baltimore Colts. Right?
The Ravens became. And there's just something about, Lakeshore Drive and driving up there in Chicago and going to that stadium. It's part of the experience.
It is amazing. All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Should the Bears be forced to change their name if they move to a stadium in Indiana? It is the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Keith McPherson, here on Fox Sports Radio, and where we deliver insight, not noise, right here on Fox Sports Radio, 877-99 on Fox. So we want to hear from you. We value your input and your calls, and you know what you need to do. Stick and stay.
especially if Uncle Rob can help with your hiring problems in the US of A.
No doubt about it. Tired of scrolling the job board, submitting application after application, and never hearing back? There's a better way to find work with real people on your side. At Express Employment Professionals, you don't pay a fee. Ever. You heard me. One application connects you to multiple job opportunities, not just one posting lost online. And when you work for Express, you get paid faster with weekly pay. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you and give them a call. You can do that too. With Express, you get a local team that knows employers in your community and is dedicated to helping you succeed in your job search. Plus, Express offers free skills training to help you grow, gain confidence, and open doors to better opportunities. So best of all, Express is locally owned so that you understand the job market. That's right. Have great connections in a variety of jobs. And remember, no fees for job seekers. Stop searching alone. Get support, get options, and get to work. Last year, Express helped more than 400,000 people find work. Did you hear the number? 400,000 people find work. Visit Express Pros to find a local Express Employment Professionals office today.
Becky Hammon, you'll recall a few years ago, she raised some eyebrows when she was on ESPN during the playoffs talking about Jalen Brunson. She said, quote, "If your best player is small, you are not winning." Well, now, flash forward to May 2026, Jalen Brunson is the quarterback of the hottest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, but wait a minute. And the thing that kills me is now it's about Jalen Brunson, but you said it. When did the team turn around when Mike Brown made a change to where everything was facilitated through
Cat?
Okay,
Big
go ahead.
facts.
I'm just saying that, like you can't have it both ways. Like when they made that change, he played hero ball in those games in Atlanta, and they lost, and then he made the change. So is it the change or is it Jalen Brunson?
I think he's playing. They're playing better as a whole. He's still the guy. He's the.
But
engine.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah. But they finally found a better offensive way to get everybody involved.
So, of course, with the Knicks headed to the NBA Finals, Becky Hammon was asked about her infamous comments this week. Here's her response.
You're taking a little bit of grief from what you said about Jalen Brunson.
You are. I'm not big.
I never said. Hey,
exactly. That's why I'm saying.
No, I mean I speak from experience, and I never. Allen Iverson got MVP, and he lost in the finals, and I think the two best teams are probably in the West. But I'm up for being proven wrong. And that's the other thing is I think Jalen Brunson's a hell of a player, hell of a player. I'm speaking historically on the NBA with what I said. I don't know why that's being brought, like why everybody's so stuck on that. I said it 2 years ago. I stand by it.
I'm letting you clear the air.
There's no air to be cleared. I said what I said. He proves me wrong. He proves me wrong. I mean, good for him. But I do think the two best teams are in the West.
We know who you like, right?
Oh, well, you know who I'm cheering for.
Hey, I'm with Becky. Becky, I'm with you. I stand with Becky. She's talking about historical. She is. We've talked about it before. She's not breaking any news. And when the Knicks lose with Jalen Brunson, is anybody going to go back to her and go, "Hey, Becky, you were right"? How many people going to go back to Becky and say she was right? No. So I'm glad that she didn't back down. She's not like some of the callers with Kelvin. You know what I'm saying?
Let me calling you back. Rob. Okay, you right, Rob. I'm sorry I called.
I don't have any issue with Becky. She's talking about historically. She's backed it up. Allen Iverson was an MVP. Mm-hmm. Allen Iverson did come to Los Angeles, Rob G, and win game 1 of the NBA Finals, right?
Stepped over Ty Lue.
And then what happened?
That was it.
That was it. That's all I'm saying. And it doesn't mean are the Knicks for sure going to win the NBA championship, and then you can put that to rest. And she said it. If he proves me wrong, I'll gladly acknowledge that he was right and I was wrong.
You know what I love about her? That she stood on business. She was on some Rob Parker. I call her Becky Parker right now. She was on her brand muffin bag. She was consistent with it. No, listen, she's right, and I want her to be so wrong. Just as a, not the tallest person in the world, formerly 4'11" in high school. I told you that. Thank God I grew some.
I can't believe you were 4'11".
I know. I can't believe it. I told you.
You had to be bullied, right? Did they bully
No.
you?
What? Come on now. See, now you took it too far.
Why?
Come on, man.
I would have bullied you if you were 4'11" in high school.
First of all.
I was 6'1".
First of all, your boy had hands.
Okay.
Second of all, your boy's charming. Are you kidding me? Well, they were bullying. You know what I'm saying? Third of all, I was cool with the ladies and the teachers, and everybody was cool. I was cool. I was like,
the girls thought you were like cute, right?
Well, the juniors and seniors, they just put me on the hip like a little baby. They said, now when you go through puberty, come here. You're so cute when you get older. I was like, so yeah, juniors and seniors a little rough.
I can't imagine. I was never 4'11". I don't think.
Well, I think you were for a minute. I don't think you came out the womb 6'4". Okay, but I kept growing. So my point is, I wanted to be wrong, but history has proven we only really have, Rob, 2 examples. Zeke, which, as you know, you obviously spent all those years in Detroit. Isaiah Thomas, Zeke. And then Steph Curry, more recently. That's really it. We have guys who were good. We have guys who gotten close. We have guys who were dominant. But those are the only 2. We got Steve Nash, back-to-back MVP. But he never got to the finals. We got Chris Paul.
There were a lot,
arguably the best player at point guard for a decade. He got to the finals when he was like third or fourth fiddle with the Suns, but I mean he never got there when he was with the good teams, when he was with the Rockets, when he was with the Clippers, never able to do it. Allen Iverson, as she mentioned, he got there. He was that guy for years. We know that. Never could quite pull it off. So I want her to be wrong, but unfortunately history has proven that she's right.
Are you kidding me, Alex? A little boogie fever? Unbelievable. It is the Odd Couple on a funky Flashback Friday. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson filling in for Kelvin Washington. Our telephone number, 877-99 on Fox. 37-30 so far. San Antonio with the lead. About 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Bob Nightingale is going to be joining us in about 6 minutes. We'll talk some baseball with the USA Today baseball columnist. But now we're talking about the Hammond Bears or the Indiana Bears. And should they have to change their name if they move from Chicago? Looks like they got a deal set to go to move the team to Hammond, Indiana. 877-99 on Fox. We want to hear from you. Chime in on this. Should they have to change it or no? They can still keep the name Chicago no matter where they play. Let's go to Kurt in North Dakota. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Kurt?
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Keith. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. My family, we lived in Indianapolis in the 60s, and we were in the Chicago Bears TV market, and I got to see Gil Sayers and Dick Butkus, who were fantastic in the 60s. I mean, the best offensive and defensive players in the game at that time. And, I don't want to see them move. Soldiers Field, it's an iconic place. It's like Wrigley. It's like Fenway. It's like old Yankee Stadium. They're deserting the people of Chicago, for money, like you said. And, no way should they take the Chicago name with them. So, you guys.
Thanks
you guys are the best.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. And that's the big thing. Like it's Keith, and you know this, turning the back on the people of Chicago. Chicago deserves better. Really? Is that what we're doing to Chicago? Really? You want to be somewhere else? Aaron in Duluth, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, guys. First-time caller, long-time listener. Thanks for taking the call.
Appreciate it. Aaron, how long have you been listening, my man?
Years.
Appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Say, as a cheddarhead living up here in Duluth, Minnesota, I can say that I got a kind of unique perspective on it. I think you guys are absolutely on point. If they're going to move to Chicago, you got to do right by the people in the place that you're moving to that are fitting the bill, and you can't get all that cachet of Chicago if you're not located there. And then the unique angle, as a division rival fan, I got to give a shout-out to my team, the Green Bay Packers, the only publicly owned team. They could never move that franchise. We wouldn't allow it. They need our permission. So I wish more teams were that way. We're the only one, and the NFL won't allow it anymore. But I agree with you guys. If they're going to move, they absolutely would have to change their name.
No doubt. Thanks for the call, Aaron. Appreciate the support. Timber Tony in Montreal, one of the all-time great cities in the world, I should say. What's going on, Timber Tony? Welcome to the Odd Couple.
I just found one of my best friends on the radio, Keith McPherson. I'm sitting here after the post-game show from the Vegas Golden Knights, and I hear Keith McPherson. Keith, are you there, man? I've missed you, man, on WFAN. I missed you a lot.
Hey, great to hear your voice. And I'm not hard to find. I'm just doing a lot of different things, and I'm here with Rob Parker now. I think I've done this like 6 or 7 times.
Yes.
Thanks for checking in.
Some national spotlight here.
So I'll just say this, okay? Keith is one of the best in the West, so he's best in the East. So I'll just say he's even best in Canada. But by the way, the original Chicago Bears were called the Decatur Stanleys after A.E. Stanley Food Company, and George Halas bought the team in 1921 and owned it until 83. Reason I know that was when I was in university, I loved the Bears. My cousins are from Chicago, and it was Bears, the Bears. But, you had Refrigerator, you had Perry, and you had the greatest of the greatest when they won the world world championship, or whatever you guys call it down in the States. We have the Grey Cup up here. I guess, I would be sad to see them go to, I would say maybe let's call them the French Lick Indiana Bears, or let's say the French Kiss Chicago Bears. Let's give them a little bit of pizzazz. No, I'm being serious.
But you know what I mean. If you're not in Chicago, you can't be called the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you. Let's say make Brandon Johnson put up some coin. Let him put his mouth where his money is. Why is he leaving Chicago Bears games early and talking about it? Oh, I left early because they were losing, and they come back and win that playoff game.
Yes.
He's got egg on his face. He's not a real true blue guy. You know who's a true blue Bears guy? The guy that tried out for him that's talking to you right now. Keith McPherson probably knows a hell of a lot more about baseball, hockey, and certainly football than Brandon Johnson. If you were going to keep a franchise in Chicago, I would put Keith on that. That's for sure. I'll put one of you guys on it.
There you go. We appreciate you. Timber Tony, one of your guys, Keith, calling in here on the Odd Couple. Very
calling,
nice.
From the north into New York a bunch of times that night when I was on.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Bob Nightingale from USA Today, talk some baseball with Bob as we early in June and what's going on, and Aaron Judge's injury and whatnot. But first, let's get you caught up with Mr. Steve DeSega. He has a NBA Finals Game 2 update.
Games at San Antonio tonight. Spurs are shooting 58% from the floor and lead the Knicks 42-34 as they approach mid-second quarter. 12 points for De'Aaron Fox, Julian Champagnie with 8. Knicks shooting just 37% from the floor, including Jalen Brunson's 2 of 8 from the field for his 8 points. Karl Anthony Towns, the leading scorer in the first half so far, with 14 points. Knicks had taken the opener. The finals opener on TV drew nearly 17 million total viewers, the largest audience for a finals telecast since 2019. Former coach Paul Westhead won the Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award from the Coaches Association. Serena Williams will play doubles in both London and Berlin this month. At the French Open today, number 2 Alexander Zverev advanced to Sunday's men's final. He has never won a Grand Slam event. Scottie Scheffler has now made the cut at 75 straight events. He is one over par, tied for 19th at the Memorial, 10 shots behind JT Poston, who has a one-stroke lead. Barely making the cut in Ohio were Justin Thomas and Ludwig Oberg. To Major League Baseball, the Giants' Matt Chapman at Wrigley Field today had 2 homers, 8 RBIs. San Francisco led 16-0 in the 6th, 18-3 the final over the Cubs. Detroit has just won 7-3 against Seattle, and Tigers star pitcher Tarek Skubal will make a rehab start in A-ball on Sunday. He had elbow surgery a month ago. The Yankees officially placed Aaron Judge on the IL with the stress fracture in a rib. On the scoreboard, the New York Yankees are trailing at home. Boston 5-3 in the lead in the bottom of the 9th. Orioles go to the 9th with a lead of 9-3 at Toronto. And the Rays, who are a half game up on the Yankees in the AL East. Tampa Bay leads 6-0 at the Marlins in the bottom of the 9th. Miami with just 2 hits. Braves are winning again, 6-3 over the Pirates, bottom of the 8th. Houston shutting out the A's, 5-0 bottom of the 5th. Houston activated second baseman Jose Altuve today. The Rangers activated shortstop Corey Seager. Reds tied 3-3 at St. Louis in the bottom of the 4th. Colorado with the early 2-1 lead on the Brewers in the bottom of the 2nd. Back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you. It is the Odd Couple. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson, filling in for Kelvin Washington on this funky Flashback Friday here on Fox Sports Radio. The, 42-39, 3-point lead by the Spurs, about 6 minutes to go. Is that what I saw? Okay. About 6 minutes to go, Keith. So good competitive for our first half. Both teams fighting. Spurs understand what they're doing, shooting the ball well. The Knicks are hustling, fighting for rebounds, and getting some extra looks. So it's a close game so far here in Game 2. But now let's switch over to baseball. And one of the best in the business, my buddy, of course, Bob Nightingale, baseball columnist for USA Today. Bob, say hello to Keith, and welcome to the show, my man.
Hey, Keith. Hey, Rob.
How are you?
Hey.
Doing good.
All right. Let's start in New York with Judge. And, you know, the Yankees are a different team when he's not in the lineup and whatnot. And it looks like it's going to be almost 2 months or at least 6 weeks or 2 months. How devastating is this? Can the Yankees survive? Now, they got pitching, Bob, but offensively, the Yankees aren't the same without Judge in the lineup.
No, it's a huge blow. But, you know, hopefully Stanton comes back, you know, soon, putting our bat in the lineup. But that's what good teams do. They survive injuries. That's what, you know, the Dodgers do year after year. You know, when guys go down, whether it's their pitchers or Mookie Betts, they're able to withstand that. So I think the Yankees are deep enough to survive it. I'm not saying, you know, that he's got to come back at some point because you need him down the stretch
right.
in the postseason. But I think they're good enough to withstand that just because like you mentioned, the pitching is so good. And at some point, Max Fried's coming back too. So I still like the Yankees to win the American League pennant.
I was going to ask you about that. The pitching, when you look at their top 3, I'm not even counting Rodon, is pretty impressive. You go into a playoff series, Bob, with those guys. Because Fried has been outstanding since he came to New York.
Yeah, everything they wanted to be out with the injuries. But, yeah, they're loaded. And, hey, if Skubal becomes available, they'll be riding on him, too. Can you imagine that rotation? If you put Skubal in there, I'd match that team up against anybody, 1 through 4 in the rotation. And that's what wins in the postseason.
Hey, Bob, let's stay here in New York on the other side of town. I'm not worried about the Yankees, but I've been worried about the Mets for a long time. This is a New York mess. What do you think about them having a fire sale and selling off? It seems like they're so stubborn in their ways. They won't fire Mendoza. They won't even start to talk about the trade deadline. But I think it's done. I mean, they're holding on to being 6 games out of the wild card and it still being any man's race. But I just look at this as a mess. They got to make more changes after they just made a bunch of changes this offseason.
Yeah, I think they're delusional if they think they're going to get back in the race. It's over. You know, there's a lot of guys that people don't want. They can trade Freddie Peralta. But, you know, there's a lot of guys, you know, with the big money contracts and stuff, they're unmovable. You're not trading, you know, they're not trading Semien. They're not trading Lindor. You know, Soto, they're not trading Soto. So I just think they have to regroup and see what happens in the off season. They were almost like in a chemistry lab, just throwing a bunch of stuff together, and nothing worked. I didn't mind that much about Alonso. Like, okay, if you don't believe he can do this for 5 years, that's fine, but not to get with Polanco replace him. I mean, here's the one thing about Alonso is he played every day. So Alonso's already missed more games in 2 months than Alonso did his entire Mets career.
Yeah, he was always available and could play in New York. He was a special guy to be able and hit some big home runs in New York as well. Let me ask you, Keith brought up Mendoza's still around, but the Phillies took the opposite approach. They had a manager that got them to a World Series. Bob, they got off to a bad start. Rob Thompson's fired. Don Mattingly comes in and saved their season. They're playing much better baseball.
I think the difference is they knew the Phillies were salvageable. And, Mattingly and Rob Thompson are like the same guys, same personality, everything else. I think they would have eventually turned around under Thompson. I think what this was just a wake-up call to the players, like, hey, you just got a good guy fired. You feel good about yourselves. What are you can do about it? And they responded. I think in the Mets case, I think they already know privately it's a lost cause. Like, you bring another manager in, nothing changes. That spotlight right now is in the front office. So then people are looking at David Stearns. So now you can let Mendoza, stand out there and be the scapegoat while everybody upstairs can sit back and not take any heat.
Sticking with David Stearns and good managers, how about Pat Murphy out there in Milwaukee with the Brewers? What's the secret to the success over there? Like, they're better without Stearns. I'm looking at this team again. They've got a bunch of young guys and random guys over there. They don't have big money guys over there, but they consistently win. What is it that they do consistently to stay at the top of the division and now the National League?
They got such a smart front office and just do things right. I mean, every single year, everyone in the world's picking the Cubs to win it. Every single year, the Brewers are ones laughing last. A lot of no-name guys, and they just fleeced the Red Sox for Harrison. I mean, Giants gave up on him. Red Sox gave up on him, and here's Cal Harrison with about a 1.5 ERA. They play the game hard and they play it right. I think Pat Murphy's the only manager in baseball that can call guys out in the paper. He can pull guys from games, and he's old school. I mean, now I think there's a lot of coaches, managers, afraid to upset their players. They don't say anything. Murphy's not afraid at all. Like, you better play the game right, or you're not playing for the Brewers.
But the only problem I have, and I'm not going to give the Brewers a parade because every year they have a good team and they don't play well in the postseason, or they choke, or they. You know what I mean? Like, they've had a lot of blunders in the postseason. Are they good enough for the regular season, but they can't win a playoff series?
Yeah, I just don't think they had that talent. I mean, last year, for instance, Rob, I went up there for after the Dodgers series, figuring the Dodgers will play the Brewers next. I watched the Game 5, the Brewers-Cubs. That was their deciding game. And the Brewers went absolutely wild. That was their World Series,
right?
And they
but they couldn't hit against the Dodgers. You remember that? They couldn't hit.
Oh, yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I just think they had nothing left, adrenaline wise, emotion wise, and they're not talented. That's the problem with the Brewers. That's why I'd love to see if Scooble's available. Love for them to go out, get a Scooble, do something dramatic here to give them a chance to get to the World Series, and I just have a mini parade every time they make the playoffs.
Like they did when they got CeCe. You remember that? Go do the same kind of thing. CeCe came there and led them to the playoffs.
Yeah, first time in 26 years, and he changed the whole culture there. After CeCe did that and went 11-2, and they made they're 2 games away from the World Series 3 years later. And now they're a juggernaut. But yeah, because of that trade, that CeCe trade, even though he's only there for half a season, completely changed the culture of their whole organization.
Keith, you got one last question for Bob?
Yeah, sure. Ohtani is the greatest thing ever in baseball, and the Dodgers are going to just win their 3rd World Series in a row. We shouldn't even watch the rest of the way, right, Bob? It's already locked up.
The thing is like, 2 years ago, the Padres should have beat the Dodgers. The Padres choked.
They absolutely choked. What a choke job that was.
Yeah, up 2-1. They're having a bullpen game. They don't have Freddie Freeman, and score a run for the next 2 games. Philadelphia, remember, I think you were there, Rob, at Dodger Stadium last year. He throws the ball away in the 11th inning. They had to play Game 5 in Philly. In the Blue Jays choked. I mean, they had that World Series.
All they needed was that one fly ball. They had like 9 chances to win the World Series, at least.
Yeah, I know. Those people in Canada are just so heartbroken. I mean, then all you got to do is just put the ball in play. And even after Rojas' home run, they still should have won the bottom of the ninth. So, yeah, I mean, Dodgers are a good team. They'll be back in the postseason again. But, they got some flaws. They're beatable. We'll see what happens. I do think if the Dodgers went out and got Scooble, I think the baseball world would just go ballistic.
No doubt. All right, his name, Bob Nightingale, one of the best in the business, follows Major League Baseball coverage at usatoday.com. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Sure. Take care, guys.
All right. Yep, no doubt. Appreciate you. It is The Odd Couple. Are you kidding me? Are we on last call time here on The Odd Couple? Unbelievable, Keith. Just blew through another show. Yes, and Austin Reeves, is he good enough to get the max deal? Are you buying that? It is The Odd Couple. Rob Parker, Keith McPherson, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay
America.
It's last call time on The Odd Couple. If you had a take and couldn't get in all show, here's your chance. Your call's important to us. Call us at 877-99 on Fox. Hurry up. Rob and Kelvin got to get out of here.
The New York Knickerbockers are in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999.
Since Moby Dick was a guppy, the Knicks are back in the NBA Finals, and they are riding a hot streak. We talk about it a lot. It's 11 straight wins, blowing the doors off the competition. And one person besides The Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, who is not impressed by these New York Knicks, Draymond Green. Take a listen.
I double down on this. Just like Becky Hammond said, prove me wrong. Absolutely double down. Getting out of the East has never been a surefire to winning a championship. What y'all talking about? You get out of the East, you're supposed to get out of the East. It's the East. Of course you're supposed to get out of the East. That don't just mean you win a championship because you get out of the East. It's the East. Great. It's the East. We beat up Boston. You should get out the East. Happy for Mike Brown, by the way, but you should get out of the East.
Here's why Draymond has a bad podcast before we get to his Knick take.
Yeah.
You know why he has a bad podcast? Because who was he really friends with big time?
LeBron?
Okay. So if somebody was there to say, so you're discounting LeBron and coming out of the East and losing all of do you see what I'm saying, Rob G? Like, where's somebody to push that, and then he'd have to change his narrative on how to eat, right? Because the East was always, okay, LeBron got out, but they had to go West, and he lost all these finals. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about, guys, when you listen to podcasts and balance and somebody checking these guys. One thing, LeBron is the greatest guy ever, and now because it's the Knicks coming out of the East, he's talking about us to be in the least, and it's no big deal coming out of the East and all of that. I wish I was a co-host on that show, because I would have thrown that right back to him. Which way is he going to go? Protect his friend? Or is he going to change his tune? Remember that when you listen to these terrible podcasts out there by players. Unchecked. Underreported. Turn them off. And turn the radio back on.
That was Micah.
Yeah. Turn off your mic, and I was right about that. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I do kind of agree with
Draymond. It's all that just to agree with him. Now you agree with your favorite podcaster in the sports world. I did all that just to say I love what Draymond said there.
And that's the only thing I'm going to say. I'm not going to trash the Knicks for winning. That's who's on the schedule. You got to play. Okay? So I'm not one of these. What I always say, sports has a short menu. Wins and losses, they win. They won. They won 11 in a row. But there's always context as well. And that's all. I think if Draymond could say that and articulate the context of it, break down the teams, two of them which quit after the Cavaliers gave up a 22-point lead with 8 minutes essentially, and their coach stopped coaching or whatever it was, and Philly got punched in the mouth, right? And they kind of collapsed and just kind of gave up. And remember, this team lost and was down in the series to the Hawks 2-1. Jalen Brunson playing hero ball, people questioning Mike Brown and whether or not they were going to get out of the first round, if you remember. People were like, what is this? So there is some context to say they've had an easy path, and I don't think it's a crime to say that if you view the teams that they played out of the East as easy. So I think that part is, but I don't think he articulated it well.
No, because all he was trying to do was act like the West is the best and the East is the least. And that's all he was trying to do. And it didn't even make any sense. The reason why it didn't make sense, Rob, is because not a single person is running around outside of New York, maybe the tri-state area, and saying that guaranteed now the Knicks are going to win the finals. Nobody's saying that. Literally no one is saying that. People, I don't know, the Spurs, Wemby's so great. I can see the Knicks winning.
No, just in New York. You know that because they haven't been in a finals
but
in so long.
But he's acting like, aside from the New York Knicks fans, that anyone is just screaming they're guaranteed to win. I mean, I would imagine a lot of people are going to pick the Spurs because they beat the reigning champs and the reigning MVP. And let me also add this. This is the first time in NBA history that we had 8 or more teams lose 55 games, which means to me, I think both conferences were a little inflated. The Pistons, I don't think were quite as good as 60 win. I think they're a good team.
Now you say that?
Well, no, I said it earlier. I think everybody was a little inflated when you got to play the Pacers 4, 5, 6 times. You got to play the Bucks. You got to play the Wizards. Let's go to the West. You got to play the Jazz. You got to play the Grizzlies. You got to play a handful of these teams. There's 8 of them that were bad, tanking, or terrible in your record or how good you were. I don't think some of these – I don't think Denver was as good as we thought. I don't think Houston's was as good as we thought. I don't think, the obviously the Rockets weren't. I already said the Rockets. The Lakers, my point is, without Luka, obviously, Draymond is discounting what the Knicks have done.
It is the Odd Couple. Fox Sports Radio, Rob Parker, Keith McPherson in for Kelvin Washington. Kelvin will be back on Monday. Spurs up 52-49. 52-51. Knicks basket with about 3 minutes to go in the first half. Very good first half. Free throws are pretty even, so I'm impressed there. No home cooking, at least not yet, right? If you missed any of today's show, be sure to catch the podcast. All you need to do is just search Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast. Please follow the podcast, rate it at least 5 stars, and provide a review. Again, just search Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast, and you'll find today's show and a best of version posted right after we get off the air. Let's do that. All right. It is now time for Last Call.
This is the Last Call.
It's last call. Last call time on the Odd Couple.
I'm doing just fine. Thank you. All right. Andre from Massachusetts. What's up, Andre?
How you doing, Rob? Thanks for taking the call. Listen, Rob, there is still time left for you to jump back onto the New York Knicks bandwagon. Yes, I know everybody knows it's Wemby. Rob, but this is looking eerily familiar to what happened with the Detroit Pistons in 2004 against the LA Lakers. At the beginning of that series, everybody was picking LA. They were invincible. They had added Karl Malone and Gary Payton. Detroit pushed them to the limit in game one.
Well, wait a minute. Wait, no. Everybody wasn't picking the Spurs. I mean, a lot of people are picking the Spurs because of Wemby, but there are a lot of people who picked the Knicks to win this series. Andre, it wasn't like that. Shaq and Kobe was totally different. I mean, everybody, you're right. Nobody gave the Pistons because they didn't have any stars. I don't look at this the same way here, do you?
Okay, Rob, point taken, but I feel going into this series, people were underestimating the Knicks, underestimating their 11-game winning streak, and you heard a lot of talk about Wemby, and I don't think the Knicks players, we're getting the credit they deserve. Now we got a dogfight tonight. All I'm saying is this is an evenly matched series. I'm giving the advantage to the Knicks, and we all know what it is. If they steal this game too, San Antonio's in a world.
Okay, and if San Antonio wins, what does that mean? What does that mean?
I think the Knicks are going to hold court at home. I think it's coming back 3-1. I think it's coming back 3-1 for a pivotal Game 5 back in San Antonio.
I think it easily could be 2-2 if the Spurs win. I think it easily be 2-2. I really do. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure when you play at home and expectations. You haven't had a big game in, a million years. You know what I mean? Like, you put pressure on yourself, Keith, sometimes. You do. Hey,
the Knicks aren't playing with any pressure. From what I'm seeing, Rob, as well as the Spurs shot and as bad as the Knicks shot, this game shouldn't be this close. These young boys will not outlast these veterans in the second half. I'm about to get on the train and get away from New York City.
Everyone knows it's Wemby.
Yeah, he's come up small. Biggest guy on the court coming up small
and you know what?
Again.
Always remember this. It's a series. And the idea that he hasn't played his best yet is something. This guy has proven time and time again that he can perform, and he'll figure it out. I know he's a young guy. It's a big stage, and he might have the big second half that they need to happen. We'll see. You guys go ahead. I understand in New York y'all are so excited because it's been so long, and you don't want to know. You don't want to believe it, but I don't know how, from a Las Vegas standpoint, the Knicks win game one. They were 4.5-point underdogs to 5.5 underdogs, even though they won game one. I just think that Vegas ain't giving you points. If they really believe that they're not, this is going to be a series, and I think it's easy. Rob G, talk about some of the things you've
you're
seen.
on the Wemby wagon. That's we all know that, right? You've been on it for months now. But you've also said, when talking about these Knicks, even before this series, Jalen Brunson gets all the headlines. But Karl Anthony Towns has been the secret sauce for them in this game so far. 14 points, 6 boards, game high plus-minus of +8. Outplaying the big man in San Antonio, Rob. Your thoughts on Cat?
Yeah, Cat has played well, and I think he gets shortchanged. Everybody's so worried about how zesty he is. The Knicks wouldn't be here. No, they wouldn't, and you know I'm right. Oh,
call the foul.
He's zesty. He's this. He's that. I'm like, dude, he can ball out. He can make threes. He's that. He's a big part of this.
After all that.
Yes. I mean, it is funny with that stuff.
I told y'all this was going to be a legacy series and game for Cat. Somebody rewind the tape. I said tonight was going to be a Cat game. I even asked Mark about how he thought Cat would do in the second game after he played so well. Yeah, I'm giving props to Cat. He's also a Jersey guy from Metuchen. Shout out to
and you know the other
Cat.
guy too who showed up. Fox has played well in the first half, right? He was awful in game one.
Better.
Yeah. I mean, he's played better. How many does he have, Rob?
12 points, 2 assists in the game.
12 points. I mean, he was awful.
5 of 8 shooting, which for him is huge because he has been shooting like in the high 30s.
Yeah,
most of these playoffs.
He's really been bad, definitely. So it's going to be very, 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 very interesting as we go here.
Wemby just turned the ball over.
You must be way ahead
coming
of
up
us.
small.
Yeah.
Big man coming up small. All that hype they sold us, the alien. Looking like a baby alien.
We're going to save this tape
Yoda.
for you when he wins a championship at 22 years
Coming
old.
up small
time
like
in the
Baby
postseason.
Yoda.
Unbelievable. I'm still with Wemby. Go ahead. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon is coming up next.
I never miss your radio show. I never hear it, so I never miss it.
Did you hear that?